Welcome one and all to yet another episode of Fictionology. It's your homie, the the Ronin of the Warring States, RG Energy. What we do not obtain by our own hands, we cannot protect, but I do everything in my power to protect all of our panelists tonight and possibly touch them. We'll see. Our first guest was around before TVs had color, as in fact, he watched the OG Dororo anime on his black and white TV. He's a lover of all things Vinland Saga, and he believes that killing is bad, and so do I. He's got a prosthetic muff. He is the man of tape, Muffler Tape.
If you so much as try to touch me, I will commit war crimes again, okay? I will rework from square one on my path of redemption. Do not tempt me, sir. Hope everybody's doing all right tonight.
What's up, bro? Okay, moving on to our next guest. If sleeping were a sport, he'd be the Michael Jordan. He would literally glaze eyes in, quite literally, if given the opportunity. He's got a heart of he has got a heart of he has got a heart of gold. He might be slightly narcoleptic. We're like brothers, only closer. Please welcome the Rolo Lord of the Seas. There he is. And he's muted.
He's on time.
Do not touch me. I swear to God. Also, I'm dead inside. Hello. Literally, haha, get it? Cause the guy. Haha.
I don't
Okay.
know. I have a little brother that could, in the army. I don't know.
Oh, I know.
I'm pretty confident that my brother could beat you in a math contest, Roland. No, but
What?
So our final guest and our host, unfortunately for us, I am surprised that he was not orphaned as a child. He is the man who loves making deals. He rents girlfriends for fun, bullies me relentlessly in my own Discord, lags in Borderlands, and it is just the most mid person in general. Ladies and gentlemen, put your orifices together as I present the man I'm going to tickle backstage. Your host, Crimson Law.
Fuck that guy. I don't need him anymore. He is being sacrificed for the good of the domain.
That was perfect.
You tell me to write intros.
That's a good
You
one.
say that nothing is off limits, and then I write intros and you kick me.
Dude,
Wow.
we're fucking clowning around. Don't take it so seriously.
The fact that you sat there.
You're
and
still
wrote
getting
all that.
sacrificed, for the good of the domain, but don't take it too seriously. Don't take it personally, kid.
The fact that I sat there and what?
So, hey, how you doing?
First, let's address the elephant in the room. That this man is threatening like sexual assault on all of us. We need to fucking gank this motherfucker soon and teach him a lesson because he needs to be put in his place.
You guys have less to worry about. I live closer to him.
That's true. That's true. I mean, hey, don't worry. The video games will take care of it for us, okay? He's going to go through so much pain and torture,
Oh, Borderlands 2. What difficulty are you guys playing on, real quick?
It's just normal. Like we're just doing a regular playthrough right now.
Where?
AKA Roman getting bent over repeatedly because of that game.
Actually, I didn't do that. I didn't do that bad last time. Okay. All right. Anyways, let's
Aim
talk
down
about.
sight. Moving on.
Let's talk. Yeah, you know what, bro? Listen.
Wait, Muffler Tape. Are you saying that this motherfucker doesn't aim down sights at all?
Basically never. No, yeah, you should check his stream. I'm sitting there and I called him out on it. I was like, what are you doing? Like, it's randomly rolling dice and you're not going to hit him like unless you aim down sight. Oh,
Borderlands 2 is a little bit better about that, but yeah, if you want to get any amount of range out of something, unless you're using a shotgun or a pistol up close, you want to zoom in a little.
Or a slug thrower. That'll be the same thing.
It's not Halo though. Bottom line, okay.
I know that. I've played Borderlands 2 many times.
Oh, I was talking to Roman, not you. You're good.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, that's irrelevant. So tonight on the docket, we're going to be talking about Dororo, which is a work by one of the. I don't know if he's the most prolific mangaka out there, but he has a lot of works. And he's pretty well known for his creation, Astro Boy, which is one of the big things that kind of turned anime and manga into what it is today. Osamu Tezuka. And this was a very interesting thing to watch because there are some like very like I wouldn't say niche philosophical points in here, but things that aren't necessarily discussed as much as I guess they should be when it comes to utilitarianism and so on and so forth. So it's going to be interesting, especially as me and Muffler were in a call last night, sort of like going over cliff notes of how this stacks up to the original and the manga.
Okay.
So I'm kind of looking forward to this discussion, especially because this was actually a very interesting watch.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So really quick,
I was gonna
before we get into the throes of it, am I
What?
the fuck did
am
I just
I-
run over?
am I forgiven for Batman Ninja now because of
No.
this anime?
No,
When you finish Tokyo Ghoul, then we'll talk. Okay.
then maybe, but no, I still
You
say
will not
no.
be forgiven until the end of the year until you have watched all
Roman,
of
if I showed you
Well, that too. Yeah.
if I showed you Human Centipede, how many movies would I have to watch in order for you to feel better? Like, like
I could just throw on The Dark Knight and I would feel better.
I've seen that though.
Anyway,
He made me watch Batman Ninja. It's about as bad.
Anyway,
yeah. So anyway, since it is Roman's pick, how about you open up, first segment here with, initial impressions. What made you choose this series? And I guess, I get initial impressions, overall thoughts, same thing.
well, I
Cheers,
forget
sake for the night,
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
I wish I had some sake.
I-
I should grab some shit.
I forget exactly.
Wait, I can't finish that.
I forget exactly when Crimson you asked, but you wanted us to pick animes for this year, and I had seen like what everybody else was picking, and I wanted to pick animes that I felt that like Muffler, Crimson, and Roland wouldn't pick. I wanted to be different, and I wanted to be out there. And to be honest, I looked up animes that like I searched up obscure animes and I was like, Dororo looks really interesting. Let me send that to Crimson. And we had kind of because you wanted to know if we were going to watch the 60s one or the remake, and I said the remake. So then you picked that, and it was always kind of in like the back of my head, like, oh well, we're gonna watch my show that I picked, and I gotta tell you that dude, I haven't seen Demon Slayer, so just an anime of like people just like fighting demons,
Yeah.
like cool as hell. Like now, I'm curious about
Berserk would
whether
have
or
been
not.
pretty rad if they had kept in a lot of the,
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff.
I was gonna say Berserk would have been pretty sick if there was a lot of monsters.
Which there's an interesting tie-in that we'll get to tonight.
Yep.
So I wanted to say that like I think it to be very interesting that like looking at the one from the 60s and like 2019, I didn't watch the one from the 60s, but I looked at like comparisons, and from what I saw, they kept like some of it, but they changed a good chunk of it. But like my initial thoughts are, one, I think that the animation's sick. Two, the fight scenes are really, really cool.
Yeah, they are.
And then three, the character writing, like
pretty
I
solid.
wouldn't say it's S tier, but it's like pretty high A tier. Like it's pretty
Yeah.
high up there.
I would say it's pretty akin, like writing wise. It might be a little bit better than Samurai Champloo, maybe, or like around that level of writing in a way.
I think I like this one more than Samurai Shit.
That's what I mean. I think I like this one more, but it's like I feel like it's at that level of anime, like writing. You know what I mean? But it's better. It's better than that. But I'm trying to think of something else I can put with it. But that's the only thing I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, just my initial thoughts, like if I'm thinking about it from like still kind of being an anime outsider, but like not really, I think this has climbed into my top 5 favorite anime now. So I
Oh,
think we're actually kind of
nice.
getting there.
Keep in
Yeah.
mind, this is probably going to rotate a lot for him until he's
Yeah.
experienced a lot of anime.
Oh, bro, wait
Like
till
I'm pretty
December
sure most of the anime you've watched has been
because of
through
this.
Fictionology at this
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
So what? It'll be 2 years in December. 2.5, a year and a half, 2 years in December. We've been doing
Uh
Fictionology for a year, right?
well,
Technically the first
technically,
one was a little before that. We started doing them
yeah.
consistently like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it'll be like 2 years by the time, and like you'll at that point have seen what, like 15 anime that you wouldn't have just picked
15
out
more.
on your own. Probably more,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think you'll
But,
be good, buddy. And
but
you watched some pretty long ones too. Like you watched Attack on Titan. You saw it in theaters when the finale was out. Like that's something cool you could say. You know what I mean? Like
this is number 4 now though. This is so I got Chainsaw Man at number 3. Dororo's number 4 now.
you gotta
Currently.
read Chainsaw Man.
I'm not judging you for that pick. This was actually a pretty solid anime. And if
It's
you asked me to
fucking
make
good,
like a
yeah.
top 20 list, I would be tempted to put this in there.
I agree. I think I could put it in a top 20 list. I enjoyed it quite a bit. In fact, I would recommend it and show it to other people,
Mm-hmm. No,
which I
this
think
is
I'm going to do.
yeah. So I'll take up the next segment here and take my turn here. So I had actually known about Dororo for a little while. I had seen clips and stuff on this all the way back when I was still using Facebook. That's a thing. And this was coming out when I was first getting into anime. So I got it, like I started getting in like 2018 with Dragon Ball and Naruto. And then 2019,
Same.
this comes out. I started seeing clips and everything. I was like, that's actually kind of an interesting anime. Maybe I'll get to that someday. But I was more distracted by the the flashy shonen shit that was going on at the time. So I continued on with that, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, that was like Black Clover, My Hero peak time. Like,
Mhm.
well, Black Clover.
So I had known about this one. I had kind of heard of it. And then Roman brings it up, and I was like, hold on. I feel like I've heard this title before, like when I'm collecting suggestions for this year's Fictionologies. And I look it up, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I know what this one's about. I'm familiar with this. And honestly, like, I didn't really have many expectations for it. I just kind of went in completely neutral. Like, I want to see what this is going to be. And I was surprised by what I got out of it. A little bit of a slow start. It does take several episodes
That's true.
for you to actually like get the ball rolling and like be invested in what's going on. But once you get to episode 6, that's about a quarter of the way through the series. It actually starts to be a lot more interesting because you start getting a little bit more of that like dynamic character stuff. It stops being this sort of like dark, like action series, more of like a seinen, I guess, in a lot of respects.
Yes.
And it really turns a little bit more into a drama, which I guess I just should admit, like, accept my fate at this point, considering I like so many dramas in anime. And just admit that, like, that's probably my thing, given my, Mal breakdown. No, cancel that. I don't want to go to Mal on this tab. That's my stream tab.
Sure.
It is. I almost left this call because I clicked on the wrong thing.
Oh, dude, when I changed my name earlier, I almost left the call, like, right when Roman introduced me.
He's trying to sabotage us, and that's all it is, man.
Oh yeah, also just for the jokes about him being late and everything, I did wait to pull him in. But yeah, I mean, this was actually a really like solid series. Like if I had to say, I guess there are certain things that I feel like probably could have been hashed out a little bit better, probably done up a little bit more interestingly. But overall, like it's not really one of those like super frilly detailed series, the stuff you would kind of get out of Mushoku Tensei or ReZero or something like that with a lot of detail. It really only includes what it needs to. And because of that, it doesn't really break your immersion. You're like regularly invested in what's going on. There aren't too many characters involved in here. Like it really does keep things contained to just its core cast and its of its like protagonists and antagonists. Like overall, very solid directing in this one. So I liked it.
Yeah, except for a couple episodes, it's pretty much villain of the week. And I like that.
Mm-hmm.
A story can do both, and this one does that pretty competently.
I mean, yeah, that's what Bebop did that well.
Yes.
So, you want to go next, Mother?
Sure. Yeah, I can go. Yeah, I was aware of Dororo, but like only tangentially in the past like several years because you're getting more and more into anime, and the thing is that Tezuka looms large over a lot of things. Like I always knew about Astro Boy because of my father, and you hear a lot about that. In his other works from the '60s. However, when they remade this, I never had an opportunity to watch it, and watching this remake has been really pleasurable to me, even with the changes that they made. I don't want to speak too much on it yet, but just know that I really enjoyed myself. I felt that this was pretty good, and I wouldn't put it in my top 10 or 20. However, I do think the things that it inspired are significantly high on my list. And what I will also say is that I think that it is a great that stands on its own. Like, so you can judge it by its own merits, and it's good enough as is straight up. So yeah.
Like if you know someone who likes dark fiction, and you're trying to get them into anime, it's actually a really solid entry to do so.
Yeah, it's pretty good one.
Yep.
Just because it's short too, so it doesn't feel like watch 4 seasons of Attack on Titan.
It doesn't overstay its welcome.
Yes.
It ends pretty clearly, even though we have some stuff to say about that, but yeah.
Yeah, but it feels pretty good. Like it feels pretty easy. It's easier to get into that when you're like, it's only 24 episodes.
Yep.
And
the
then
original was 26.
Something. So, yeah, 26. Yeah, whatever. 24, 26, whatever.
Yep.
No, we're talking. You're mentioning the original anime, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Not
the
this
original
one.
Was 26. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are some interesting things that we'll go into as far as like the history of this and why it's actually an important series. But
because I don't know any of
that. Roland, how do you feel about this one?
I would be tempted to put it in top 20, possibly. Maybe top 25. Like it might be at like 21 possibly for now. I'd have to really think about that. I need to go on my anime list and do things. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I think, speaking of things that inspired, I don't know. I just got some of the creature designs. I got and even the name, what is it? Hell's Paradise vibes from some of that shit.
Interesting.
Yep. And I just love the idea of like him pulling his hand off and it's a sword. And like obviously that's in Chainsaw Man. Not that they copied that. Like that's just something.
I would not be surprised if Fujimoto drew some inspiration from this because some of the people who actually did will some will make sense, some will not.
Yeah.
And I really, really, really enjoyed just a lot of the different characters. Like I said, the creature designs, a lot of the fights were really freaking good. The animation was solid. I did not watch the 1965, 64 one, but I probably will now. And
we'll get into a little bit of that discussion here in a bit once you're done. But like, there are some like random facts.
I would say overall solid show. If I were to, we do ratings later, but solid show. I'd recommend. I think it's fun.
Yep. So to move on to the next section, because this is kind of like, I guess the burning topic that I've had on my mind is, so with Dororo, that's actually like has a very interesting history. And this is one of the few anime that has gotten like a modern readaptation and has been very well received. So I'm going to,
Crips, can I say one thing real quick as well? I have also heard of this before watching it, and I remember people talking about it. Like, maybe Kuzi, Roman, maybe he watched it or something. This is up his alley. But I definitely remember
he probably has
to watch it, and I've seen like anime music videos of it and shit. So.
So, just to go over the stats really quick on this one, it ranks at about an 8.32, if I remember correctly. which is pretty good for an aggregated score. And most people seem to think that it's, an 8 to 10. So that's interesting. Really, really well received. With a total of 1,300,000 people having this series as either between plan to watch, completed, watching, yada yada yada. This is all the people on this site who have interacted with this page.
772 people really weren't fucking with it.
Well, okay, so yeah, it's the like Alpha Omega said, there was the live action adaptation of the series, but this is all based on a manga. Yeah, there was a movie by Tezuka, the creator of Astro Boy, which is a very this feels very different from what Astro Boy would have been.
Yes.
And the big thing is that he never completed this manga. He abandoned it before he finished it. So the original anime actually had 48 demons that Hyakimaru had to kill.
Ooh.
Okay. Not 12 or whatever. So yeah.
I think it's like 12 or 13, something like that.
Spoiler alert, in the end, he ended up killing his father.
Yes.
Yeah, bro, I figured that should have happened.
I kind of like the direction it went with the anime.
I get it.
For certain philosophical reasons and all of that. There was that. So while we were researching this, we kind of found out that there was quite a bit of difference between the original vision and what this is here. Like apparently in the original, Hyakimaru could hear and speak telepathically.
Huh.
That sounds cool.
Yes. So, and it was a little bit, differently animated and everything. They do kind of capture a little bit of that with the way they depict Dororo in here.
Yes.
But in terms of Hyakimaru, they definitely go for a more, and all the other characters, they definitely go for a more grounded, realistic looking approach.
Yeah, he's kind of just like Daredevil.
And I made this.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, I made this comment. Like we were talking about inspiration and everything, and we have a little funny anecdote about why you don't trust AI answers here because of this. So we started looking into this series a little bit more last night. Me and Muffler Tape, and what we found was there are actually two very notable artists who credited this series as their inspiration. And I had actually made a joke about this, or not a joke. I had made a comment about this feeling very similar to another series that we've done a Fictionology on. I described this as it kind of feels like a proto Berserk. Lo and behold, Kentaro Miura credits this series as one of his great inspirations.
That's sick.
So yes, this actually is partially responsible for the creation of Berserk. On top of that, it's not just him. It's also like very well received like female romance mangaka who have taken inspiration from this. And Rumiko Takahashi has cited this as
it makes sense. I get it.
With Yu Hawk, or wow, I almost fucked that up. Sorry. No. With Inuyasha as well as Mao and stuff like that.
Inuyasha. This is also the creator of Ranma and a Half, and then Urusei Yatsura.
Yes.
So generally pretty lighthearted writer, but has some darker undertones and stuff in there. It now starts to make sense. This was actually Tezuka's influence was, I guess, beyond just Astro Boy. Dororo as well seems to have taken on a life of its own in the things that it inspired.
Oh, dude, I got one right off the bat. Sasori from Naruto.
Yeah, kind of.
No, not just that with Naruto. I have a bone to pick with. Oh my god.
The puppets.
No. I gotta find my jokes real quick.
Oh, fucking Itachi.
There's Kishimoto trying to redeem Itachi.
It's always a fucking Itachi sometimes.
All right, bro.
Either way,
we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about it.
There's a lot of things in here where you can start to see, I guess, the inspiration, like the whole Fujimoto thing with the Katana Man removing his hand.
Yep.
And that, with this, with Hyakimaru and everything, that's cool. I don't know if that was in the original or not, but that's a cool little bit of creativity. Again, with the monster design and I guess the interaction with the demons and the idea of fate and all of that in this series that you can see where Berserk got some of its ideas from. So there's some cool stuff there. And just overall, like, feels like it's actually something that's important. And it's a little bit more than just some sort of like action series on the surface, too. It's like, yeah, you get some really cool fights, like the Tahomaru and Hyakimaru going at it at the very end. Like, that's a really good fight.
That fight's sick.
I'm not gonna lie, that is a fabulous fight.
It really is, and like the fight, is it right before that or right after that with the his two goons with the arms?
Oh no, I'm talking about I'm talking about the section after that when they're in the castle.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That was badass when the castle's like burning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're just fucking climbing around and, you know, beating the shit out of each other. It's
the fucking place.
Mm-hmm. Overall, just a really good series, and I was pretty happy with it. And while I was going through here, to go back to a little bit of the reference stuff, we kind of got the idea that there was the potential that we could have seen, you know, like this being a little bit of an inspiration for creation of characters like Daredevil and stuff like that, because they're very similar. Yep. Well, I decided to look it up. And this is where we get into the funny anecdote about why you don't trust AI answers from Google. So I Googled, was Dororo inspired by Daredevil? And it said, no, Dororo originated in 1967. Meanwhile, Netflix's Daredevil came out in 2015.
Yeah, the comic.
Yeah, so the AI, this is why you don't trust AI answers, is because they do shit like that. And they're faulty.
ChatGPT and then look into its answer though, like that one usually works, but like Gemini's ass, bro. Don't do that. I hate it.
We looked it up. Daredevil came out in 1964, so it predated by about 3 years.
So maybe he liked Daredevil comics and created a cool
there is actually the potential because, again, American comics being brought over during the U.S. occupation of Japan was another big influence for why manga took off.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
like the American comic was basically the blueprint for manga.
Yeah, and they were making like everything was pro-America comics, like too. So I was like, and now everything's pro-manga. Let's go.
Anyway, so that's been my thoughts so far on a lot of that. Is just like it's been very interesting to see. Like this is a series that I feel like it was funny because there was a post on Twitter talking about like how good it is versus how popular it is, and like you know the popularity is super minimal, but it's actually a really good series.
Yeah,
they're talking about this series, and I was like, actually, I would agree. Like nobody talks about this, but it's fantastic.
Nope.
Like it deserves more recognition.
One of those ones I hear the name quite often. Like when I'm in anime circles, I hear the name or I see it. I hear people mention it in videos, and I'm like, I remember that thing, but I just never had a reason to watch it. And then I saw it on the list, and I was like, oh, cool, word.
Yeah. I have talked enough now. I'm gonna zip my lips and let you guys have your say now. So,
well, I actually wanted to ask. I think a lot of the animes that we've seen, you could show these animes to get someone into anime. Would you guys say that Dororo is one of those animes that you could show a person to get them to introduce them to the genre as a whole?
I was gonna say I have an answer.
I have an answer too. We all have answers on this.
I was about to say, you guys go. I'll give my opinion at the end.
What I would say is it depends on the person.
Yeah, heavily.
That's the first. That is the first hurdle.
There's no one anime to get everyone into anime.
Yeah,
I was going to say because they have to be okay with historical pieces. Where this one, even though it has fantastical elements, it still takes place during the Warring States period, right? So they have to be like a history nerd, a Japanophile, or somebody that just likes I want to watch a war movie or something.
Somebody wants
to have a lot of that.
I didn't say that. As far as this one goes, I wouldn't even say they have to be like a history buff or anything. They just have to be someone who wants like a darker period piece or just darker fiction in general. You could recommend them something like this. It's fairly grounded, has a decent bit of folklore and everything. So you're getting introduced to kind of like some of the fundamental concepts behind a lot of Japanese fiction in this one.
Yeah. like the new A and shit like that. But
Well,
it's
I have
actually there's probably Dandadan probably took a little bit of inspiration from it too with all that. But
sure.
what I would say is there's one initial hurdle to get somebody into anime, and I know this because my friend had to do it in order to get me into anime. They don't understand what it is usually. So,
Right.
like generally
Yeah.
speaking, it's a turnoff for people because they're like, "Why are you watching? You're reading an entire episode and then you watch it again to get the better look at the fights." And I'm like, "Yes, all the time," and like that's the hurdle. So if you're watching a show that's dubbed, that's immediately a lot easier. And also, they have to be okay with the animation. If they're not okay with the animation, have them come over and hang out and just leave it on while you guys are talking, and then be like, "Oh, I'll be right back. Go use the bathroom." They'll pay attention to it at least a little bit because that's how my friend got me, bro. I slept over his house for the weekend because he was watching. His mom was gone. He was watching his dogs. He just left SAO on, and I've told this story on the show before. And eventually, I just got into anime. I was like, "Wow, this shit's good. You better like take care of my girl Asuna." You know what I mean? So that's
okay, Hassan.
But once you get past that, you just have to know what genre of shit they're into.
Yeah.
We got the
So-
Hassan Piker take. That's great. I'm just gonna leave this terrorist propaganda on here, and then I'm gonna go. I'll be right back. It works. It works.
It does.
So
I ate chicken nuggets.
So
Oh no, wait, my mom did. Sorry.
My bad.
My mom brought
Bro.
me chicken nuggies. Kaya, stop.
Donald Trump's a
So,
fascist.
The fox demon got its revenge. That's all I'll say. All right, go Kurama. Go Kurama. Hey, my bad, man. Go ahead.
so no, I was just gonna ask Crimson his thought on this. Like, do you think that this is something that you could show to someone who's never seen anime to get them into anime or no?
Yes.
It really depends. Rollo kind of like elaborated on a lot of this. Like some people just avoid anime because they see it as cartoons and they're not into cartoons. Some people
Right.
avoid it because they think it's something weird and like only ever does fan service and all that. When the reality is that there's actually a lot of anime out there that just don't do fan service the way you think of it.
It was totally fan service the way she sung in this. It's just Mio or whatever. Yeah, totally, just absolutely
Nui?
degenerate. Yeah,
Oh
Nui.
no! Oh, that
no,
girl.
the girl
Okay.
who was singing and
The prostitute. Yes.
the prostitute. Yeah.
As far as this anime goes, it's a solid entry and it would work for some people. It would actually be a good recommendation for people who I guess you could say, like, if you're a fan of like Game of Thrones or something.
That's
Something
exactly
a
what
little
I
bit
was thinking.
like darker
Yeah.
or a little bit grittier. This would be a good
Yeah.
recommendation, not something that is like rip the band-aid off, throw him into the deep end like Berserk. But like this one, like there are like reasons why it would actually be appreciated. It's short, it's well animated, the characters, they're not like overly complicated or anything. The themes behind it are pretty apparent. Like you're dealing with the idea of utilitarianism, mercy, all that kind of stuff. There are a couple of themes in there that I guess people can find some semblance in there if they're into that, but mostly it's just like if you have someone who wants to watch something cool, something like gritty, this would be a good recommendation for them. Not so much for, I guess, other people who like you're not going to get everyone with this. This is going to be like you'll get a fraction of them with this.
But then that's why you have like other ones in the roster, right? Because it's like there's going to be some people that like they're not even in action at all, and it's like, well, here's Love Is War. You know what I mean? Like, and you're always going to have to use something. But that's you basically just have to know who you're talking to. But would I show this to somebody for the first time? Yes, but if they were more a sci-fi, like if Star Wars was their favorite thing, I might show them Cowboy Bebop instead. Do you get what I'm saying?
I would actually say if
Right,
someone
fair
likes
enough.
Star Wars, you should show them Space Battleship Yamato.
That's that too, but also for Star Trek people. Yeah.
And then maybe Cowboy Bebop
And
and
Bebop.
Outlaw Star after that. Like those will be like up their alley. But yeah, like again, you can't generalize things. A lot of people want like a one like a solution. Yeah, one size fits all solution, like one thing done, boom. We're good, we're cool, we're good to go.
Yep.
Without actually thinking about like, okay, who's the person that I'm engaging with? What exactly like is like not taking into any account any of the nuance or anything.
Right.
It's really hard to try and get someone into anime when one, you're not giving them the kind of thing that they would appreciate. So
yeah, it's like I showed my mom Attack on Titan first because I knew she liked darker shit. So she was totally cool with that. She was like fucking with it off rip. But like if you show that to other people, they can't handle the first episode, bro. Like if you can make it after Aaron's mom, then you're good to go. But
like I think the first thing I watched with my mom was I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if it was one of the Makoto Shinkai films like Weathering with You or Your Name, or if it was Josie the Tiger and the Fish.
well, I guess technically speaking, mine would have been Princess Mononoke and like Spirited Away. And even though it's not anime, it kind of like got her into the idea of it. Was like Last Airbender, me watching it constantly. Because to her it looks like an anime, so she calls it an anime. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like I have watched a couple of them with her, but the ones that I started with were definitely more like the romance drama stuff because I know that's a little bit more along the lines of what she likes.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
show my mom Love is War just for shits and giggles, but she wants
Movies are a good way to get people into anime too, but that's
to
besides
like,
the point.
saying, Princess Mononoke. I wanted to go see it in the theaters when I was like 12 or whatever, and they brought it back in, and she went with me, and we watched it. It was fantastic. I love that movie. Every time it's in theaters, I go and see it. Every time.
Would you guys mind if I just ask a follow-up before we get into like some more deep things? So would you guys say that this anime is like underrated or is it like properly rated? Because honestly, people really talk much about this anime. So like it's
Underrated
not
in that it doesn't have the same sort of like
the
cultural
recognition.
influence or recognition
Yes.
that
Yeah.
like other series do.
Popularity,
Like you're not. Yeah, it's not a Chainsaw Man. It's not a Jujutsu Kaisen. But I honestly think that it's better than both of those.
I think that there is one major reason why, and it's like not only is the original one really old, and then there's like a lot of stuff like we were talking about, like Berserk probably eclipsed it when it came out. You know what I mean? And like what I would say on that is when this came out, the remake, what was at the same time, 2019? It was like My Hero was popping off. Like Bleach was
Would have
about
been
to
around
come
the
back.
time that we were getting the first seasons or so of Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer as well.
Chainsaw
I
Man.
see Saber Rider. That's the only thing that makes me think of oh god, Fate. Like, am I wrong on that, Marcel? Is that like a Fate deal or? Sorry, go ahead, Roland.
Oh, also, like Attack on Titan was going to the end game. Like, I feel like this just kind of fell under, all that, and because there was all these big anime doing big things, and even though some anime were ending, like Black Clover was ending or had just ended or was about to or whatever. It's like that's another thing.
This is some mecha stuff, dude.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, at least if I got the right thing, Saber Rider and the Star Sheriffs.
That sounds like something.
Yeah,
that sounds like something our friend has watched.
Yeah.
It sounds like something he's watched because he's watched like.
The main character. It's a mecha, and the main character is named Shinji.
What the fuck? I'm not that old, too, Marcel. Like most, well, I say that. Like the thing is, like anime before.
Yeah, it looks like I got the
90s,
right one here.
Yeah, anime before the 90s is very spotty for me, man. Like it's really iffy on whether or not I've watched it.
The only ones I know before the 90s are Princess Mononoke and like the Ghibli films, and then like Star Blazers and like Astro Boy and shit. And now this.
Anyway,
Akira.
Yeah, this is
Akira is really good. We'll do that eventually.
We have to do Akira eventually. I almost put it on the list for this year.
Got to make Roman watch it.
You guys are welcome to put movies on the list for Fictionology if that's what you really want,
I know, but there was other stuff that Muffler and I had a long conversation about what we wanted to do, and we had to switch shit back and forth. He's like, "I'll pick this one, you pick that one." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Akira was on there. We almost had it, and we took it off.
Anyway, is insofar as this anime goes. So like getting into I guess the meat of the issue with this one. I think like I said earlier in the stream, this is one where like it starts out like it's kind of okay, and you're just sort of like sitting there watching it, like keeping up with it, like all right, this is all right. Like I kind of get the point and everything. Like there's a little bit of like an emotional connection there, you know, with the mother and everything, and like how she feels about abandoning Hyakimaru and all that.
Yes.
But better than that, I think, is once you get to episode 6, and you kind of get like a full picture of what the series is going to be like there. With you have this whole like connection between Hyakimaru and Mio, and the kids at the temple and everything.
Oh, dude.
Like there's a lot of good stuff going on there.
In the original, like spoilers, in the original, they're all in the temple and they're like set on fire inside the temple in the original.
I figured that's
I was like, we're just gonna burn you all alive.
But like the moment we got
show...
about halfway through the first part of that, I think it would have been like episode 5. I was like, I know where this is going. They're talking about killing anyone who's seen it, like who is coming and going from camps and everything. And she's trying to earn money to pay for everything that's going on here. Like she's just gonna get cited as a spy, and they're gonna.
I knew she was gonna die, but I didn't.
And it still fucked me up.
Yeah, but I thought they were actually gonna do the whole thing where like they did burn them alive inside. Like that's what I was expecting. Like he just finds burnt corpses while it's on fire or whatever. But
I think they wanted to justify a more visceral reaction on Hyakimaru's end, make it a little bit more personal to him, because this was like the first group of people he was really connected to outside of Jukai.
And I guess Dororo had like Biwamaru at that point, right? Wasn't he already hanging out with Biwamaru at that point?
I think he had already met Biwamaru the first time.
Yeah.
Biwamaru was there like for a little while during the temple stay and everything, but then he wandered off in a different direction.
Yeah, he's like a little Gandalf, man. He just shows up.
The actual Daredevil, all right?
Yeah, for real.
Old blind man.
Yeah. He's cool. I do like him, and I like the fact that his fucking Biwa has a sword, bro. That's so cool. Like, I'm like, in my mind, I'm going, I don't know how the hell that's even physically possible for him to be able to play anything on that, but that's cool.
Either way, I thought it was good, like emotional development from that point on, as to where like you sort of get to see the relationship between Dororo and Hyakimaru develop. You get to see like how he changes in response to a bunch of these events and everything. And as time goes on, you sort of start to get the question of like you can kind of understand the pull of both sides here. Like I can understand why Tohomaru would want to defend his Ra, why he would be willing to sacrifice Dororo. At the same time, I also believe that Dororo had every right to reclaim his body, because it was something that was stolen from him by people, by a choice not made by him.
Hyakimaru. You keep saying Dororo. I get
Hyakimaru. I fucked that up.
I just don't want the comments to be like, he doesn't even know what he's talking about.
I mean, I clearly do, given previous parts of the conversation, everything. I just fucked up the name once. Either way, the point being that when, I can understand both sides of this, and it's why I can kind of appreciate the ending and the idea that, I guess, setting aside the rage and finding peace. It's very similar to what happens during the, I guess, the latter part of Star Blazers 2201.
Yes.
Where you have Susumu Kodai's whole speech about you have to be the one who's brave enough to not pull the trigger.
Yeah. That's when he's talking to the Gamelan, right?
The Gotlantians.
That's what it is, Gotlantians.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it kind of plays into a theme that a lot of manga and anime play into, the cycle of hatred and violence that gets perpetuated by human nature. See that in Naruto and Attack on Titan, yada yada yada. This one, I guess, is it approaches it from the only real resolution, the only, I guess, moral resolution you can find to this, because your options are completely wipe your enemy out, regardless of what that means. or you have to be the one who decides not to pull the trigger. And in this case, I actually really liked that we got to the point where Hyakimaru was the one deciding not to pull the trigger.
Yes.
Being like, you've lost enough. You felt the pain of your own decisions. I'm not going to do this to you. I've realized that there's more to this whole thing than just revenge and reclaiming what's mine.
I think that there's a big story beat, though, regarding the end. So I just want to speak to this real quick, because with the original, he kills his father, right? So they changed that. And what that does narratively is it changes the focus from the shifting of the old guard. You're talking about the samurai lords, okay, that are in control, all right, wronging the people. Then you have Dororo, her parents, coming along and, you know, doing a rebellion, getting power back to the people and stuff, okay? So functionally, they still kind of play out the same, because, you know, in this version, he is completely crippled. He's lost everything, right? So there's still that changing of the guard, but maybe it's not as impactful, because the thing is, like, this is better for Hikimaru, like his story, but I don't necessarily know if it's better, you know, for Dororo, her story, right? You know, so they could have been trying to shift the focus a little bit in that regard, but I don't know. Like, I think that there's something with the end, the way those beats play out, man, personally.
I didn't have a problem with it. Like,
Yeah,
I thought it worked philosophically, because
okay.
again, you have the whole thing where there's the dichotomy, I guess, between you could kind of divide the whole family of Daigo up into two camps. You have Kagemitsu, and like his philosophy of, you know, utilitarianism, where he's willing to sacrifice the one kid, you know, those who walked away from Omalask style.
Faustian bargain. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and like that's where Tohomaru sort of falls in, is he sees this as like, for the net benefit of all our society, you alone need to suffer for things that are beyond your control, that are, you know, outside of your choice. There's no reason for it other than it just has to be that way. And then of course you get to I get what Hyaki.
We got to screen cap that. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, I froze there for a second.
Was the Invisible Man, did he taste good?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but you know what?
Now I'm looking at the
You,
screen
you,
cap,
you all
bro.
froze for me in some really fucking weird ways. It looked like muffler tape was busting a nut. He had his eyes rolling back into his head like he was fucking, yeah.
Fucking great, dude.
Anyway, no, my point in that I was trying to get to was like, as opposed to the utilitarian side of it, you have what Nui was sort of like representing there, with like the idea of, you know, mercy and self-sacrifice, giving up something to, I guess, break the cycle. And how Hyakimaru ends up sort of like, you know, playing into that. Yes, he does ultimately go on to reclaim all of his body parts and everything, but at the end, like he could have, you know, thrown more chaos into it. He could have been the one to, you know, just like decide to kill it all. But taking the path that, you know, his mother had basically been on the whole time was kind of, I guess, a symbolic gesture of deviating from the path that his brother and father had followed.
I got a quick question now. You're talking about him getting all his body parts back. Do you think Turbo Granny could beat him? Take his cock?
That is
fuck off.
Why do you care about this?
Fuck off. You are going in timeout. That is.
Do you mind if
I'm serious. It's a good question. Do you think that he has it back? I hope so. It's not prosthetic.
The world may never know.
I know. All he got was his arms, his legs, and his entire face.
Well, he's got his skin back, so maybe it's just a deflated
his skin,
sack
his
of skin.
Spine. Oh yeah, his spine. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I gotta say, I find it to be refreshing that that there was an anime that we watched where like now granted not all of them end in this way, but it's kind of nice that we don't have an anime where like the main character's in misery at the very end of it. It's kind of nice that, like, you know, he just chose like the peaceful way. Whether you think that it narratively makes sense or not, it's like a different story, but I'll just say, like, comparing this to other animes that we've seen, and heck, even some media, I personally, at the stage that I'm at in my life now, I like when a main character can, depending on the circumstances making sense, um, choose the peaceful way out instead of resorting to violence. I do prefer that better because I think it shows character growth. Um, I do understand that there's sometimes that violence in certain instances for characters is the only way out, but I think um I like when like I like that this was a peaceful ending. That's something that we don't really get a whole lot of. Um
I'm going to
at
push
least in
back
the
on
media
that
that
here
I'm
because
in.
I'm gonna push.
I don't
back on
think that this
too.
counts as a peaceful ending at all. The final arc is a war and a battle between a couple of siblings where a castle burns down. The two of the
Adopted
younger
dad.
brothers' closest friends get killed.
Yeah.
The mom and the brother end up dead.
And the
What I
adopted
mean
father.
is
Like
what
it's
I
not a
meant
peaceful
was
ending. You're talking about a positive ending, not a peaceful ending.
right, yes, sorry, a positive ending, yes,
You
not
don't necessarily
peaceful.
enjoy tragedy. And what I will say
Yeah.
is like tragedy can work really well actually. I feel like the ending of Cowboy Bebop is actually fairly
That's
fitting.
exactly what I was gonna say. That needed to end that
Mhm.
way.
Because Spike's kind of just a tragic character overall.
Yeah, he had to end that way.
It's pretty shocking to get there and have that happen and all that. But
Right.
honestly, tragedy is not a problem. It's when you get to stuff that's, like utterly nihilistic in the way it does things. Like the original ending for The Boys, if you aren't familiar with how that goes.
I am familiar with how that goes. Roman, I have a question for you. How would you have preferred, like, I would say that Revenge of the Sith does not have it's not a happy movie, but it has a positive ending. You know what I mean?
Well, in fairness,
Does it though?
Yeah, Luke gets put with his and
The entire galaxy is conquered by the Empire. The Jedi Order burns.
Okay, yeah, like
a bunch of
if you
innocent
didn't-
people are dead, and the Empire rises to power.
I mean the movie itself is fucked. But what I'm saying is, you could argue that that's a positive ending in the same light, because it's like, if you know
There's still hope.
If you've seen A New Hope, yeah, exactly. Like, there's still hope, but that's about it. So it's like everything else though just rocked your world. If you're a Star Wars fan, you've never seen it. So that's what I mean. It's like when you watch that thing, it's gonna rock your world, and it does not feel like a positive movie. I've watched that movie with tons of people, half of which all cried.
Sure. Sure. So I'll answer your question because I think I was maybe like talking a little fast and I wasn't very clear. So I think that I think that tragedy endings can work. I also will say though too that peaceful endings, if it narratively makes sense, can also work too. That is my preference. But if I'm not saying that everything has to end with a quote unquote peaceful ending. What I'm saying is that for some of the animes that we've watched here, this was just kind of a nice like a positive ending, kind of sort of. It was just nice to have something.
I think that's why we tried to do that for this. Like, we tried to kind of switch up each genre. That's one of the things.
I more so organized our schedule based around how long it was going to take to complete each anime.
That too, but Roman, I think what you're describing is basically like trying to think of a movie that's like that, where a lot of messed up shit happens, but then it's all happy at the end. Return of the King, I guess. I don't know.
Exactly that. Yes.
Or yeah. I feel like that's what you're describing by saying it's a dark thing that's going on. People die, a lot of shit happens, but at the end, and it is also
again. What I would say is it's a positive ending. It's something that makes you feel better about it, rather than feeling emotionally beat down. And
Yeah,
there's some like necessity to that. Catharsis is actually a very legitimate thing to use in storytelling. And that shouldn't be ignored just because it makes people feel uncomfortable or sad or whatever. People should be able to tolerate that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like I get it. This one, as compared to some of the other stuff where like they haven't had definitive endings or they've been pretty emotionally brutal, like I can understand why you would appreciate that. But there are some that we're gonna get into as we go like later into the year that are a little bit more on the positive side that you'll probably enjoy just because they won't be as stressful.
Yeah, sorry about Psychopaths, buddy. I didn't know you were feeling this way. That one's gonna be stressful.
Don't worry, Frieren and Mushoku Tensei are pretty good in that regard. But the final one, well, no, I was gonna say like Mushoku Tensei is far easier, far more fun than ReZero. ReZero is going to be
one. I know all about it. I've seen clips.
ReZero is literally like, oh yeah, you're feeling good. You're feeling good. Oh yeah, you know what? Now you're not. No, fuck you. ReZero is just gut punch the anime.
So, before we move on, I just want to clarify. I'm not saying that, like, catharsis. I'm not advocating that, like, it shouldn't be there. I'm just saying that I think that when it is, appropriate, I would prefer for there to be a positive ending. But I also am not against tragic endings either. I just wanted to, clarify that. I'm just saying that in this particular instance, I find it to be refreshing that we got a positive ending. So
yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I'm just adding a little bit more context to it for throwing in some terminology there, so everyone kind of gets a clearer picture of what we're actually saying here.
I'm just gonna use an example that's an actual anime example, and you guys know I gotta bring it up, but like that's basically like what the end of Bleach is gonna be this season. It's like it's the end of the war, so it's going to be describable, not like to the same level of writing and everything, but describable to the way that Lord of the Rings is, where it's like a lot of fuck shit's gonna happen, but it's gonna have a happy ending at the end. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's an anime example I would use. Whereas like true tragedy would be Cowboy Bebop, I would say, because it's two best friends kill each other, all over a girl. Like so.
Well, okay, so tragedy. I'll save that rant for next year. But we all know that I have problems related to Love is War. But we'll get. I was about to say
I sense the seething hatred for Oshinoko bubbling up, and it's not a tragedy in the fact that the anime in and of itself can be categorized as a tragedy. No, it's a tragedy like in the fact that just how it ended is an absolute travesty.
Like, okay, Tezuka at least gave a good ending. All right, that's all I can say. Okay, this is a serviceable.
Technically, no, he didn't finish the manga. That's up to the directors who did their thing.
Oh well, fuck it, man. The directors did a hell of a good job. Maybe I forget Doge Kubo, I guess, is the studio. Hopefully, they do a good job. All right, that's all I can ask for. Okay?
I always call them
Kubo.
Yeah. But no. Yeah, man. I like, or I will say Vinland Saga as well. Okay, the ending of Vinland Saga is pretty complicated. All right, but it basically touches on both of those things together. Like, it's very positive, and yet it's not without a bit of tragedy as well.
So. We're doing Vinland towards the end of the year, though, aren't
we? No, July.
It's literally Psychopaths, Vinland Saga, and then Frieren.
Yes,
that'll be fun. That'll be a fun and coming from this, because and then what we
it's going to be sci-fi, historical fantasy, high fantasy.
Oh, dude,
yeah,
you guys just gauging. Where are we at on Psychopaths? Has anybody started? I know
I haven't started yet.
I'm on like episode 3.
I'd intended to, but I had a bunch of life shit happen, and now I have a walkthrough on a house. So
that's what happened to me. I just did Dororo in fucking 48 hours. So
damn.
I
Yeah,
will probably watch episodes with you occasionally, but that's I'll talk more about that later.
I'll probably end up starting it tonight, but I still do have a good chunk of Bokuben that I have to watch by Saturday.
If you want to watch the first episode after stream, I'd love to see your reaction to like the world and like the way that it works. It's only
We can check it out.
Yeah.
And as far as that goes, like at some point here, because you guys are probably going to need to start Mushoku Tensei and ReZero here soon. I do want to watch Arc 1 with you guys, which is going to be like the first 3 episodes. So,
yeah, we got to start it like probably after Psycho Pass. I'll start that and get ready.
How long is
rerun on Switch off?
How long is ReZero?
Currently, okay, so season 1 is like 25 episodes. Season 2 is another 24 episodes. Season 3 is like 18 episodes, and season 4 is 19 episodes.
Yeah, bro, we got to start that one.
There's a lot. That's why it's the last one of the year.
Yeah, so Roman has to start that one now. Everybody else can wait a little bit longer, but.
So yeah, I do again that as a side track. I do want to watch Arc 1 with you guys because I want to see your I guess your reactions to everything that happens there and some of the cool shit that you actually get out of it. Pardon me, and a little bit of the explanations for things that happen in there, so that like you can understand some of the more nuanced elements that are going on that they don't explain because they cut stuff from the novels.
How many episodes is Mushoku Tensei?
Right now, there are 2 seasons of 24 episodes, and we're unsure what season 3 is going to be like because it starts in summer.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Ooh.
That's why I'm recommending you guys start like drip feeding these into your schedule because there's a lot to watch there.
I was gonna say, are we gonna be watching season 3 as well and talking about it?
Yeah,
we're gonna watch as much of it as possible. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
Because if they cover the shit that I think they're going to cover, there's some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I am crossing my fingers, hoping to God they do a Sura Kingdom.
Dude, I don't know anything about Mushoku Tensei other than the word, and I like it. The words. I like them. It's fun to say.
It is fun.
It's literally just Japanese for jobless reincarnation.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I know that about it. And I'm pretty sure Cammy from the Discord watches that, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
I'd be really shocked if he watched it. I'm not going to lie.
Yes.
He watches some weird shit, bro. Like, I don't know.
Bro, he gives us crap for Don to Don, okay? He's not going to watch fucking Mushoku Tensei.
I
was about to say, one of the most controversial anime protagonists of all time.
I think at this point, he just does it on purpose.
Anyway. I'm pretty sure he does most of the stuff he does just to fuck with us. No, back to Dororo though. Like this was like a fucking solid anime. And I have been pretty happy with like everything that we've gotten so far. I don't think there's been necessarily a bad thing. There have been a couple that I've been less favorable towards, but this one I think is genuinely one of those ones where like, yeah, you know what? This was a really good pick. Like
I can figure
as far as Roman stuff goes so far, like well, I can't.
I like
91 days.
91 days.
91 days. You know what? When you're 2 of these deep, it fucks with your head a little bit. And
91 days. Y'all like that one, and then y'all like this one. So I mean,
so 91 days was good. If I describe 91 days as good, I would say that this is actually great.
Yeah. This has a higher cinema score, in my opinion. Okay, if I were to,
this is better than 91 days, but
both are very good, though. Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, for someone who doesn't know much about anime, like you got some good picks so far. Now we're just gonna cross our fingers and hope that Forest of Piano isn't gay as shit.
Yeah, that sounds gay. What is that? I'm kidding.
Well,
who the fuck
actually,
is that guy?
Since we're on the Dororo topic, I wanted to broach something with y'all. So, did you guys know that the homie Biwamaru was actually in the show Blackjack? Did y'all actually know that?
Did you also know that he's the head principal of like the Jujutsu Society or whatever?
So, if you look on,
you're talking about the voice actor, right? Or the character himself.
So,
you look, I was talking about the fact that he
on
looks
the
exactly like him and
so
carries a guitar.
if you look on the door if you look at the Doro wiki, it says that the character made an appearance in Blackjack 2004 episode 51 as an acupuncturist. And the same actor came back to voice him, which actually I didn't know that. So, it's actually kind of cool.
I have not heard of
I was just
Blackjack
looking
before.
through like the wiki, and I was just looking through the wiki, and I saw that in there, which kind of made me think to myself that um I wonder if it's common for anime to have like a shared like universe at some point, or if like Blackjack's like connected to, or if Blackjack's like
Depends. Most of the time,
connected
no.
to
Not
Dora.
Most of the time, it's just a
necessarily.
reference.
It's not necessarily usual for anime to have a shared universe. The only ones that I could think of that aren't, direct sequels that are obviously shared universes, like Fate,
Fire Force and Soul Eater.
Fire Force and Soul Eater, and then Love is War and Oshinoko.
Oh, no way, really? I didn't know Oshinoko.
Yeah, actually, in the manga for Oshinoko, Kaguya shows up as a photographer.
Yes.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, she.
That's
and-
why, especially if
not too much
done-
spoilers, but she shows up as Kaguya Shirogane. So
Yes. Oh, so she's
yes.
There's also there's like levels to this as well, where it's like
It really depends on whether you can convince someone to do Classroom of the Elite, Arceus.
Well, it's more like if Arceus decides to fucking show up to these, and be a regular panelist or something like. Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, give him a break. He's busy, man. He's got.
Well, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
like,
so
there's really
Crimson,
levels to it
would
because,
you
like,
mind-
Chainsaw Man, technically speaking, exists in the
Don
My
Don.
Hero. Well, that, but he's also in My Hero. There's a hero that looks exactly like him. That's seen in the background in like a couple of the later seasons.
I mean, I don't know if he
It's a reference from the creator, but Yugi Tabata. But no, that's Tabata's Black Clover, who is a.
Sorry, what was that? Someone came in asking me about batteries.
I was saying that
Dororo.
there's a Chainsaw Man hero in My Hero, and like you can see him, but it's at that,
in the manga, it's actually Denji. Like you can actually see
really?
Chainsaw Man. Yes, in the anime, they turn it into handsaws because they're different studios and they don't have the rights to the character.
That's cool.
There's also
Denji
and Bean are also in, are
times.
technically canonically in Dandadan as well. So
yes.
Wait, what? Where?
Yes, Denji and
Read
Bean
the manga.
are part of the Dandadan manga.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
what
I'll say is you should
sure
buy the physical volumes and read it because you'll get the bonus chapters where they show up.
That I was gonna say, is that before, because you showed it to me, that's before fucking it's Denji in Power, right? Yeah, and that's before they get to Candyland.
They may show up there, but we're talking specifically about when they fight the typhoon person.
Yeah, the Eye of the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's what you and I read.
Because I showed it to you. I was like, "Hey, man, look at this." You're like, "Oh, wow."
Say, I'm pretty sure that's the last time I read it.
Yep.
I gotta catch up. We gotta do that. Maybe tonight.
Honestly, if you're still around,
I still got
the
the
link
tab.
is available. You can just jump in if you feel like it. I'm not gonna stop you.
Yeah, maybe after we watch like that episode of Psychopaths with Crimson, if he's down, then I'll read some Don and play some Subnautica. Sounds like a good night.
I will try to hang with you because I've got another 10 tomorrow.
Gotcha. Well, if you don't want to, it's fine.
No, it's cool. It's not a matter of want. Okay, it's like, well, how much white, do I have to drink in order to like not fucking die? Basically,
true.
You have to ride that line between heart attack and falling asleep.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Live life on the edge, brother.
And anyway, so we're getting really off track here, but
Worth it.
yeah.
Sorry
So
about
like
that.
as far as Dororo goes, I don't necessarily see this as like a hyper complicated series or anything. The episodic nature of it all tying, I guess, into like an overall story was nice. So it did feel
Sure.
like each episode gave you like a complete story. And in that regard, structurally, it's very similar to like Cowboy Bebop does things. Although I
Yes.
Yeah, that's
feel
true.
like the actual plot of the series integrates far better than what Cowboy Bebop did. Cowboy Bebop's thing is a little bit more out of nowhere, to where you'll just randomly get these episodes where Vicious shows up. And then the ending feels like they just cut it short and called it
Yeah.
quits because they didn't
Yeah,
have the support to
Bebop
do the
is
rest of it.
like Bebop
This
is
one
like
feels like they had planned for it from the beginning, and it's a smooth transition all the way to the end.
This
yeah,
one feels more
Bebop. I
cohesive.
would say. I'm sorry. I
You
was
were
gonna
already
say
talking
Bebop. I
before.
would say is very much like, especially in the middle. It's just villain of the week, except for like those 2 episodes about like the one character, and like you get Jet's backstory, Faye's backstory, and more about Julia.
Well, most of Cowboy Bebop is actually just villain of the week. It's episodic
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
It's literally just
But-
one job to the next to the next.
Mhm.
It's still more cohesive than Samurai Champloo, and this
That's
is more
fucking-
cohesive
that's
than
so
Samurai
true.
Champloo as well.
Do you guys think that it served Doro better to be like an episodic anime?
Yes, because
Well,
not
yeah.
dragging out a lot
Yeah.
of the conflicts that he finds himself in makes him a little bit more satisfying, because you get like
Right.
you basically get to see some progress with Yakimaru getting his body back. And it also, the range of experiences helps you sort of see how he's changing as a character over the course of it, rather than these events being dragged out over multiple installments. The fact that they're like one and done and you get a little piece of character development with him is good.
Yeah.
It works well for the character. It actually makes him seem a whole lot more interesting, because you actually get to see like different facets of him, how he thinks, how he fights, what he actually cares about, and all of that.
It makes
Yeah.
it versatile in its storytelling too, where it's able to really explore a lot of the different mythologies and lore related to Japan. So it's really good in that regard.
I appreciate the fact that it makes him more impactful when they're having to deal with a character for more than one episode, because it kind of I like when they do that. You know what I mean? So that way it feels like it's a lot more difficult to get around things when you have to deal with that.
Yeah. I will say though too, to comment on what like y'all said earlier, the first like 6 or 7 episodes are like kind of slow, but like I think though that a slow build, like if Doro was fast like right out of the gate, then the ending wouldn't have hit as hard. At least that's my own point of view. I don't think that it would have been as it wouldn't have been as, maybe not entertaining's the word, but I think the slow build kind of like, it was like, I don't know how to explain it, but I think it was probably necessary for it to start slow and then like
Yes.
end kind of like how it ended. Um I don't know necessarily if it had started fast right out of the gate, like if it was just like momentum the whole time, if I would have liked it as much. That's just something that I wanted to see what y'all had to say about that. Go ahead, Muffler.
Actually,
Never mind.
you're good. No, I was just going to say real quick. I think that it actually mirrors like him, like Hikimaru himself, because of him going through the process. Like it's slow intentionally at the start because he can't really do much. He can't interact much.
Yeah.
And as he is able to like regain his humanity throughout the story gets more dense. It becomes quicker and stuff like that, because you're able to convey more information. So I think that it does a good job following that thorough line. So that's a good call out on your end.
Yeah, I would agree.
Sorry on that, man.
No, you're good. I was gonna say, to that point, I think it's it's interesting to me the way that this show's structured because it actually almost feels like, and this is a live action, but it actually almost feels like Burn Notice to me, where it's like enemy of the week, enemy of the week, enemy of the week, but progressing. Then one thing that we get stuck with for 2 episodes. And then enemy of the week, enemy of the week, enemy of the week. But the storyline's still progressing. And then we get stuck with something else for 2 episodes. You know what I mean? Like, that's basically how it was structured in Burn Notice. And, like, it was great. It's like, that's how they used to structure a lot of television. And I can see why this is structured the way that it is. Because when it was a manga, I'm sure that it was coming out every week or every month or every 2 weeks, and it had to have a new villain every week or a new thing for him to fight to progress the story. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
And I thought a lot of the creature designs are just so freaking cool.
Dude, some of the some of the way that like the characters look, dude.
Spider Chick was wild.
Dude,
I really liked the episode with the crab thing.
Yeah.
And the
well, did you like the moth?
Yeah, oh yeah, I did.
Yes.
Yes. Read Berserk.
Oh, I know.
Because that's a fucking arc in Berserk. Anyway.
No, but just to touch on something that Roland said, like I think that most of the designs were actually kind of spot on. So I wanted to ask
because the Manticore, the Japanese Manticore is so freaking cool. Which is it's so weird that in folklore there's a Manticore in like Japanese folklore, but there's also a Manticore in like English folklore. And that's just a little bit strange.
Yeah, that was in the Nue episode. I had to take note on that because the reason is I knew that some of the names of the creatures were similar to what I've seen in other things. So for me, Nue strikes me immediately as, oh, this is Chojin X style stuff, right? Because that's a big thing in Chojin X, which, by the way, Crimson, I think you're going to enjoy when you get to that. And then Amana Jaku is another one, which, do you know Amana Jaku, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Ghost Stories. That's Ghost Stories.
Well, that's the folklore, like basically a trickster demon. Imagine they have a fucking shithead Loki.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. There's one famous anime where they have like, fucking JJK. He uses Nue. That's Fushiguro.
Yeah, Kurama.
No, Fushiguro uses Nue and demon dogs and shit.
Yeah, and then I'm saying like there's also Kurama in here, right?
Yes.
And then
a blue Kurama.
Did anybody recognize Rapidash?
I was gonna say Rapidash.
Yeah, I saw that in there.
Rapidash goes out like a fucking G, bro.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Oh shit! I thought that was a good one.
Rapidash is so that literally means that the creators of Pokemon put that in from that anime.
No, I don't know if that was in the original
or not.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just a joke I made. Yeah.
Yeah,
most of the Pokemon came from Monster Hunter, or not Monster Hunter, but something Quest, Dragon Quest. Most of that stuff came from Dragon Quest. My bad. Yeah.
So, I mean,
the fights were hard as hell. Like,
I don't know if Rapidash was out yet.
Like, also, can we just like appreciate how fluid the fights are?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're solid, bro. Like, not like. I'm not trying to say that one's better than the other, but I felt like I was watching a different type of Chainsaw Man when I was watching the fights. In like the sense that like the fights were just as fluid, at least like to me, on this show as they are in Chainsaw Man. Because
they definitely had a really good team, and you want to get this Wit Studio. Or sorry, no, actually no, this was Mappa. Sorry, that's my bad.
Oh,
this is Mappa.
That's why.
Sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure they said it was Mappa.
Yeah,
that would have been Chainsaw Man. Back in 2019, motherfuckers. Back when they were animating the original JJK and shit.
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, but I mean, yeah, no.
Look at
the
how much
fights-
better they've gotten, bro. Look at the Denji fight with fire compared to this fight with fire. Look at how much better they've gotten with that shit. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, but wouldn't you guys say though that like kind of the bones of like Chainsaws fights are here, kind of, sort of?
I know, yeah, I would agree.
Well, the thing
Yeah,
is,
like-
they utilized far less CGI in this than they did with Chainsaw Man.
Bingo.
Correct.
True. Yeah, these fights are much more practical. I feel
I would
like.
say this is more akin to Attack on Titan fights towards the end of the show.
You think so?
With the way that they style the animation, that's Mappa too. It
Yeah.
was coming out around
yeah.
the same exact time. They literally finished this, and then we're doing season 4 of AOT.
Yeah. But
They were doing a lot of stuff.
They were doing a fuck ton of shit, yeah, because they were also.
how are they
doing
not
it for, like,
overworked, bro? It's
JJK.
crazy.
They
They
are. We had this discussion. I had a
Mhm.
fucking monumental argument with Roland in chat before, talking about it's like, well, the reason why there's no more Chainsaw Man stuff right now is because they're working on like 8 billion things all the time because it's
I don't
Mappa,
care.
you know.
I don't give a
Sorry.
shit.
Well,
Chainsaw
not my
here's the
fault.
thing about Mappa.
top of
is-
the list.
You were saying something, Crimson?
Did you freeze?
Yeah,
Might
he
have
probably
frozen,
did.
yeah.
He froze again.
My internet is being really fucking spotty for some reason tonight. Fuck Starlink.
You just made
Yeah, that problem
Roman
on Sunday.
tingle in his pants right there. You just made him real happy.
Yeah. Anyway.
We had that problem on Sunday.
Yes. I'm actually probably going to get my own service, my own fucking modem for my computer and everything here because I'm sick of it. No, as far as the Mappa thing goes, like they definitely are overworked. Like there is a huge problem with the way that that company does things. In fact, it's a hangover from when Mappa formed out of the remnants of Madhouse. It's basically the same problem as people get worked into the ground and the company ignores it. It was so bad that allegedly animators were being forced to sign NDAs because Mappa didn't want the bad press.
That
They
sounds about
also allegedly bought an entire basically paid for like a I don't know if it's a studio or anything, but they made like some huge investment for the quality of life of their animators and everything. Like it was highly controversial for a while.
Didn't something else happen with Piero as well? That's why they're like just doing Bleach right now.
Well, no, they're not. Once they're done with Bleach, they're just going to do magical girl stuff, man.
Well, no, I know that, but wasn't there some controversy that was similar to that, and that's why, like, at the moment they're just finishing Bleach and not really putting work into something else? I feel like there was, but I could be wrong.
I don't know any number of the shitty adaptations they've put out.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bleach is good, but Kubo's involved, so that's why.
Fuck you.
Muffer's like, I wish Ishida cared enough to be involved in his series.
Yeah, he was. That's the thing. Like, that's such a bullshit thing to say. Fuck you.
What do you mean? It's literally every Bleach fan is happy right now. What are you talking about?
No, I know. That's the joke, man. Okay,
It's not my problem. Bleach fans are fucking Kubo dick suckers.
That's
not fair. ReZero boy.
The thing is, I've shit on things that Tape Nagatsuki has written.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad Isekai.
I've shit on things that Kubo.
Don't remind me.
Bro, okay, Rufijin, he did do Orc Erica, okay, I will say, which is kind of absurd. So, yeah.
I have shit on
Just write the sequel to Mushoku Tensei, you fuck.
Yes.
I want to
please.
see
May I
Orsted
also-
fight the man god already.
May I also just say, just to like get back on to Dororo for a second here.
Yeah, my bad, man.
No, it's fine. I was looking at some of the comparisons. It looks to me like the anime from the 60s. Kind of sub Arceus. It kind of seems to me
Arceus,
like
look at
the
chat,
anime from
bitch.
it seems like the anime from the 60s just was going for like a different tone than this one was.
Yes.
Well, sure, that's what people were saying, is that it's more lighthearted, jokey and stuff, but I don't know because, again, he kills his dad, so it's like, well,
He
and he
kills his
literally
dad.
says,
The
the only
kids
dad
step
I
in.
knew was my character, which I forget his name. Like, 1 second, I've got
Marcel,
Yeah,
my
anyway.
boy.
Yeah, my bad. Anyway, continue, sir.
No, I mean,
like
I was
there's
gonna
that. There's
say,
also all the kids getting burned alive.
Yes, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
fun. Hope you have fun, kids.
It's like fucking Happy Tree Friends out here. That's what the original anime was.
That's
you guys-
so. Somebody's still gonna clip that, bro. That's
You can
do
only
you
burn
guys-
them once, right? Wait, what?
My God, dude, what?
that's what the Nazis said.
Um,
Okay, never mind.
do you guys think that
Let's
there is?
not do any National Socialist bullshit on my stream, please.
Agreed.
You can talk
So-
about burning kids, but you can't talk about. Okay. I'm kidding.
Sorry, Roman.
May I-
We went. Yeah, go ahead, man.
May I talk?
Yeah, just go.
Okay.
Sorry.
Mhm.
So
So anyway,
like, so overrated.
Oh, I was gonna say it.
So I just wanted to say, looking at the comparisons, do you guys think that the anime from like the 60s was an overall better story than this one, or do you think that this one had like the better story?
I don't know, bro.
I
haven't
don't
watched
know
it.
because I haven't watched the 60s anime.
Yeah,
What
it's
I
not
will
fair.
say
okay.
definitively is, from what I understand, the 60s anime is the better adaptation. And in that regard, this version of Dororo is a terrible adaptation because it makes a lot of changes. It is
Yes.
Dororo, I guess, like in like bones, again, like in a sense, like
It's light.
you have the skeleton
Very
of
light.
Dororo there, but there's a lot that is significantly different. It would be kind of like comparing. It's I guess the difference is like that I can relate to anyway. Trigun versus Trigun Stampede / Stargaze. They're technically like Stargaze just does not feel like Trigun.
I actually have one that you guys know. And Muffler knows specifically. Tokyo Ghoul compared to the manga, and then also
Yep.
Star Blazers compared to the original Star Blazers.
Well, I
Yamato-
don't think Tokyo Ghoul really applies to this one because we're talking about adaptations. So
Well, that's
as
what I
far
mean,
as far as what I will say is, I actually think I like the idea of this story better than I like the idea of the 60s anime, or the manga,
Fair enough.
particularly because the manga doesn't have an ending.
Remakes, though. So, like,
Well, Star Blazers, that's what I mean. Star Blazers is a whole other season that's like not where they're on Ishken
Mhm.
cart for like a fuckload of time.
well, never mind. I was going to bring up a larger subject on it, but I'm just not going to at this point. I don't think. But, like, as far as the adaptation, I'm not for sure on this one compared to the original. I do know that some of the changes make it a little less, interesting in some ways, because this new version telegraphs Dororo as a girl like halfway through the season, right? But the
Mhm.
original apparently only revealed it at the very end, with her being like an adult and stuff like that, so it was a bigger surprise or whatever in the original compared to
Interesting.
this one too. And then a lot of people were like, oh, they're the modern interpretation of a lot of it too. Like there's been some stuff injected, but I don't think that's from this adaptation. It doesn't get into that too much, but it's more people projecting onto it. But yeah, again, the reveal is not as impactful in my opinion because it was already alluded to.
Well, do you think they did that to like kind of censor it in a way?
I don't know, maybe
Because like we find out
it's a Samus Aran type thing, right? Yeah.
because we get that scene right where she's by herself.
Yeah.
And that's where she finds the tattoo on her back, right? Right. So
Don't-
then we
Don't look at me.
yeah, and that's like I was like, oh, bro, and she looks exactly like that chick from fucking Hell's Paradise, who you think is a kid, the thief,
Oh, good call out. Okay.
looks exactly like her. And same thing, literally same thing happens She takes her shirt off, and he's like, "You're a chick? The fuck?"
That could be definitely an inspiration. I didn't even think about that at the time, but yeah, you
I
called
didn't
out
think
the
about that
monster
until
design.
just now.
Yeah, it's good
Because I
call
knew
out.
she looked familiar. I was trying to place what it was from.
Yeah, I
A
think
couple
I'm gonna go and
Oops, sorry,
I
bro.
think I think mixing in with my ReZero, I'm also gonna watch the original anime as well because I think there is some sort of a missing picture here where I don't know if I can fully judge this one without
Yeah.
seeing the one from the 60s. So,
Well, no, you can.
Yeah.
You can just judge what I've seen. What I've seen
Right.
is really good, but then I want to get more context, right? So you can have your opinion now, and your opinion may change later with more information, but your opinion right now is still perfectly valid, man.
Roman, you also gotta think, man. There's a couple shows that you and I gotta watch for the other show, for the Raw Room. Like on House of the Dragons out, we gotta be on that. So you gotta kind of plan this joint out.
well, I'm just gonna
Fortunately,
watch.
most anime episodes are only like 25 minutes. So
Exactly. And if you like block off a Sunday night for an hour and a half, and you can get that done every week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna watch like ReZero in my free time, like my free time.
Yeah.
mhm.
That's
Like,
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start ReZero pretty soon, but I want to catch up on. I've rewatched all of season 1 of Psychopath so many times I don't even need to watch it. So I'm gonna rewatch season 2 over the course of the next month, and I'm gonna start with Mushoku.
Well, there's more than 2 seasons. We talked about that, so don't forget.
Oh, I know.
There's
Okay.
a third
then-
season in there that we're gonna have to check out. That's about all
Well,
I
I meant
remember.
for Psychopaths. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
for
like 41
Psychopaths.
episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Um,
overall, I remember the count.
I
That's
watched
why-
the first couple episodes of that, so I know what happens, and then I kind of fell off of it because Attack on Titan was coming out. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I mean, fair enough. But
but I'm
no,
really
so-
quick. This is important.
Sorry,
Trust me. No, so like
Here you
with
go. Here you
ReZero,
go.
most of the time you're going to see hour-long episodes for the first season, though, because that's a director's cut. So plan
Sure.
accordingly. That's all I was going to try to say.
It really
yeah.
depends. If you're using Crunchyroll, yeah. If you're gonna, do it the cool kids way, you're probably gonna find individual episodes that are 20 minutes. Again,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
if we find a
Not-
time,
but- yeah.
I do want to watch all of Arc 1 with you, which is not really that long. It's like
I'll do that.
it's a short part of the series, so there's that. I want to see what you guys think of it. Also, we have this motherfucker. So, do you have an intro for this guy, Roman?
Well, as it happens, yes, I actually do. The man who put me through hell, he is kind of he's kind of a nice guy. He owes me a solid, and I want my $5 and I want it now. Everyone, welcome to Crimson Law's channel and welcome back to Fictionology. Arceus rules. I hate you. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
It's okay, I love you, buddy.
Thanks for not putting a sexual joke on my name like the others. So,
Oh, he's still gonna touch you.
Well, here's the thing: is since you've said that, you actually raise a good point here. Does Dororo count as a trap?
No. She's a tomboy. It's totally
Yeah,
a tomboy.
Well, here's the
Pretty
thing:
early.
is she technically a reverse trap?
Yeah, she's a tomboy. Okay.
No,
Are
bro,
tomboys reverse traps?
No, I wouldn't say.
I wouldn't define him as that. No.
No,
Well,
I got
here's the
friends-
thing:
I have
it's
friends that are
a girl
tomboys.
pretending to be a boy. A trap is generally a boy pretending to be a girl. So does that not count as reverse trap?
Okay.
Like
It's like
this is the
it's like
inverse of
it's like
a trap.
the character
So it's a
from It's
reverse
Always
trap.
Sunny in Philadelphia. No, I get it. Yeah, it is a reverse trap because it's like the
I
character
get it,
from It's Always Sunny.
but I would just prefer not to use those terms.
I also don't
Well,
want to.
too bad. We're here.
that
I'm
connects to the
3
character.
fucking lemonades deep, and we're gonna have this conversation now. So fuck you.
Okay,
There you go,
all right,
Crimson.
so,
I
okay,
changed
all right,
it. I
Crimson.
changed it.
Okay, all right. I see your logic, and I raise you one agreement.
So hypothetically, trans people. No, joking, goofy.
Well, I mean,
hypothetically, Dororo is a representation of trans people.
no. What's
No.
that? It wasn't no.
No.
I guarantee you, there is somebody out there that's saying that. But,
Yeah, that is
yeah,
the
there
case.
are.
Yes,
And you know
they
what?
are.
I agree with them.
there-
The trans people are the demons.
What was the movie? What was the movie like from like the 80s or 90s where it was like the chick was like dressed as a dude the whole time until she finally like flashes the guy at some point or whatever.
Do you realize how little that narrows it down?
It
You
does,
know how
I
much,
know. I know that was like a weird trend in the 80s, but like I'm trying to remember the name of the movie. They're on the beach and shit. Fuck. Somebody in chat will get it. But that
We
I
need a
feel
little
like
more,
it's-
bud.
like,
I'm about to
it-
try to
it's
get
more
AI to
so
help you
like-
on that one, buddy. Miss Doubtfire was
Miss
not the
Doubtfire,
80s.
That's actually, you know what? That's
That's not
that's
it.
not a
funny.
bad answer.
That's
I
funny.
respect that answer.
Thank you, Vagabundo. I
So,
appreciate
like-
that answer, buddy.
So like, if Doro's a reverse trap, then like,
Oh, it might be she's the man.
hold on, let me finish my question here. So like, if Doro is a reverse trap, then like, you know how there's like reverse racism? Would like, Michael Jackson be like reverse racism then?
No, because he had
No,
vitiligo.
because there's no
It's
such
just
thing as
racism.
reverse racism. It's just racism.
No, yes, exactly. But also he had vitiligo, so he just went all white.
Right, no, but like I'm saying though, like if she's a reverse trap, right? Then like I don't well
Okay.
first of all,
You're
Where,
Alright.
where are you going with this? I
You
think I
feel-
need to call
I
up
feel you're
Lethal
trying-
to ask him about the fucking hoenomics or whatever it is that he talks
Ho
about,
math.
because like we're getting
No.
into some fucking ridiculous shit here.
Okay.
no, like
I think I agree with Crimson at this point. After I've done some research, I do believe that this would be a reverse trap.
No, okay.
Because that one girl definitely had a little bit of a crush. I think reverse trap. Like,
No.
okay, let me tell you
No.
this.
Because there's no reverse racism, so
Oi.
there's no reverse trap. So you know
So
what?
then
I
Dororo
think
was
ours
just
is-
a trap.
I
Oi,
think
mate.
Arceus is
Oi.
probably right then if we want to use that
That's what I'm
retarded
saying.
language. Okay.
Listen here. So, like, I don't know why I'm
Fuck
doing
you for
that.
taking this
Listen
away
in.
and erasing
I'm gonna
tomboys.
I'm gonna
all right?
get you with my random accents. So
Oh yeah.
I actually genuinely, yeah, because bro, if that was like somebody that was like 21 and was trying to date a chick, and the chick was
21.
like, that's a reverse trap.
21.
That's a reverse trap. If you're a chick that makes yourself look like a dude, and then you're trying to get with a chick, that's a reverse trap. But it wouldn't be a trap if you weren't trying to do that and you're just trying to change your appearance.
Yeah, that's all
stay
she's trying to
alive.
do. It's to stay alive. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not a
Either
trap.
way,
But
either
the
way.
concept is the concept of itself would be, but
Yeah,
that's
she's not trying
the
to
reason-
catfish anybody or trap anybody or anything. She's
Well, that's what I'm. Well, again, would you say that about Arya Stark in Game of Thrones? No, I wouldn't.
no,
Exactly.
she's not a trap. Okay, yeah, okay. I agree with you, bro.
Yes,
There is
that's
an
what I'm
actual
Fuck
argument
Arceus.
as to why she's not a trap. Okay. Anyway, Arceus. Now that we've gone through all of that bullshit, what do you think of Dororo? Care to share your thoughts?
No
So
one cares what you
I've
think.
been listening for a while. I've just these last like couple days, man. I've had to have like some entertainment or some like video on while I'm getting through all this fucking work by myself on set and stuff. So I do want to mention that I did agree with a couple people in chat and some people on here. I forgot who mentioned it, but I thought Dororo was very slow in the beginning. And if I watched this as a weekly show, like I think it was like the first like 5-ish episodes, I think I probably would have fucking dropped it, honestly, man.
Yeah.
It was
And then
shit.
Then it was, I know, right? Then it was like episode 6 where all the fucking shit happened, right? And I was like, whoa, wait, let me take like, like let me watch a little more, right?
I'm
So
glad that
ever
you did.
I know, man.
I'm glad
And
that you did.
ever since that
Dude, I had a feeling it was going to be like one of those shows after, because the first episode I really liked. Second episode, third episode, fourth episode, kind of slow. Fifth episode, where you get to like that's where you get to the orphanage.
yeah.
I was
Well,
really interested. And bro, they literally do. Tell me that that's not similar to the Demon Slayer kill. Like
it is, and that was definitely something I wanted to mention. But when they fucking killed Mio, dude, I was really pissed. I was like, bro, I love her, man. Are you serious? But
she's great.
It made me feel something in the first couple episodes, which is very hard, I think, for a series to do. In those 6 episodes. So when Hayakamaru was slaying that demon that took his leg and everything, while he was like recovering from like like his voice and the limbs and everything,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, like it has the style of Berserk that like I really love in Berserk. That's like, oh my gosh, it's very suspenseful what's gonna happen, and dark to the point where I'm really invested and compelled into the narrative that's going on. But like, but it's also like dark, and there's gore and it's like very bloody and all that stuff. And I'm like, which usually is not my cup of tea, but this is one of the few, just like Berserk, where I'm like, I'm really happy that I finished it and I went through it, because when this came out in winter of 2019 season, I actually watched like the first like 4-ish episodes until I stopped at a point because I was getting busy and I was graduating. And I never went back to it. And I was like, is it really like, like, is it something to really go back to? So I'm really happy that someone mentioned it, because I literally stopped when it got good. So, which usually happens when I like drop series or stop anything. But anyway, back to my main point. Ever since episode 6, it's just been a peak series. The emotional story writing, the character development, the narrative, just the characters, dude, the action from Mappa, of course. It's just all just amazing and impressive, and this was a good pick. I absolutely did not expect it to be this good. It was really good.
I've got Roland's response to Mio's death. That hoe was for the streets.
Nah, Mio was not for the streets. She's just trying to do what she had to do, man.
Rolando. My bad, I may have said
I was going to say, man.
No, you're good.
This motherfucker right here, that's who he's talking about.
Yeah, because he would make it about religion and then tell that hoe is for the streets or something. I don't know.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time to care about prostitutes.
I sent F to pay respects.
Anyway, no, like it genuinely was a good series. Again, like Arceus touches on the thing where I was talking about, like it feels like a proto Berserk in a couple of ways. Like there are a lot of things that overlap, and it makes sense once you like learn that Kentaro Miura specifically drew inspiration from Dororo. So
yeah, like I heard Mufflorte mention like the moths and the spiders, and I'm just like, bro, I see the vision, and I was like, I gotta talk to him about that, because like I see what he's talking about.
Yeah, no, and it's also your favorite Rumiko Takahashi drew inspiration from this one.
I did hear you say that. Yeah, I didn't know the full context. I was like, was he talking about that?
Yeah. It would definitely be Mao as well as Inuyasha, in my opinion. Specifically Inuyasha more so. But I mean, the dark. Actually, Mao is even darker than Inuyasha, so maybe like even more so later in her life, or these action series trying to weave in the romance and stuff, which makes sense because Mio, like that was a pretty compelling, story arc. And then later on too, like you had like the episode with.
I wonder if they kept that the same, like with the prostitute stuff in the 1960s version.
I was gonna say it is the 60s, so I'm wondering if they kept that the same.
It's the 60s Japan. You got to keep that
right.
That too, and there wasn't really a lot of Christianity
because
at the time, so it wasn't like
you got to keep in mind that the 90s produced Sailor Moon with a scissoring subplot, and the U.S. censored it to make it an incest subplot.
Yeah.
That is true. I forgot that was a story.
Japan was pretty liberal.
Yeah, no.
Cool with.
So either way, it would be curious to see how they went about that. But yeah, as far as like setting a tone for Dororo, I almost said Don. My drunk ass almost said Don. I'm not gonna lie. As far as setting a tone for Dororo, Yeah, the that arc with the with Mio and the children and everything, that was the kind of like emotionally brutal thing that like really got me like fixated on this series.
Yeah,
And
me
I'm
too.
really glad I mentioned this before. I like to watch as many of the anime that I watch on normal speed as possible because there's just something detached about watching it at like 1.5 or 2 times speed that I just don't like to do. So if I can avoid doing any of that, great. This is one of the series where I've been keeping up with it. So I got to watch the whole thing normal speed, really good, especially as you got to like the conflicts between Hyakimaru and his family. Like there were a lot of like tensions there that I actually really liked. I liked the dichotomy in the way that he was treated by his mother versus his father, and ultimately his brother. I touched a little bit on that earlier when I talked about how he kind of ended up following a little bit more in his mother's footsteps, whereas his younger brother followed in his father's footsteps, took the more utilitarian stance and everything. Like they did a really good job of like making this sort of like juxtaposition.
I have something to add on that. The utilitarian approach. Okay, this is a question. This is me going to segue into this hard. Okay, but has anybody here watched Godzilla -1?
Yes, I love that movie.
Okay,
Yes, sir. That movie's fucking banger.
I went and saw it in theaters, and I don't regret it. I went alone, and it was awesome.
I didn't get the
I
chance to
agree.
go, but I did watch
In
it. And I
theaters.
watched it in black and white. It's fucking banger.
in theater,
I
chef's
wanna buy
kiss.
it, yeah.
Okay, the reason why I brought that up is because that had a lot of commentary regarding World War II Japan
Yes.
and about how they were just so willing to sacrifice people for the cause and stuff. And there was a lot of backlash. And I wondered that if that wasn't like, it wouldn't be the first time, but
Well,
maybe we wouldn't know about it compared to Japan, where, like maybe in the 60s post war, they started questioning the government and like, what did you do to us?
Well, this would have been, I guess, like pretty well on into U.S. occupation. So the government would have been kind of the U.S. military. I don't know how long we actually held like control over their government or anything, but we've maintained military presence in the country for a long time. Either way, the point is when it comes to Japan, I think the bigger part of it was just the honor culture. With -1, to where like the idea that like you were selected, like dying for your country was a huge honor, fighting for the military and everything. It's a whole cultural aspect that I don't think you fully appreciate when you're not Japanese or even Asian or like East Asian for that matter, to where like how much this actually matters. So, like, the idea that he was a kamikaze pilot who didn't fulfill his mission was a huge disgrace to his name.
Yeah.
It would basically be like someone committing treason here in the U.S.
Exactly.
But they literally spelled it out, too, that they blame the government because of it, though. That's what I'm saying. Though. It's not just the honor culture. It's like the honor culture enforcing the suicide.
Well, they took advantage of the people's worship of the emperor as a divine figure. The military used that as part of their propaganda to talk about how the Japanese were superior and how great they were. So it was a huge problem. This is part of the reason why it also bleeds into the propaganda that they fed people during the war in the Pacific, about how like they fed everyone the lies about how American soldiers were going to eat them alive because they were cannibal savages and everything. So people decided that they would rather end their lives and everything than be occupied.
Yes,
it's honor, it's propaganda, it's all things that were abused. Technically, I guess you could say it was abused by the government. Sure, because they were a military dictatorship.
Yeah, exactly. Which would be like anti-samurai, feudalism / anyway.
You also have like the fact that they would just give them mushrooms and then say that stuff like right before that. They would like wait
berserker style.
Yeah, they used to give them like psilocybin and amanita, and right when they would do that, they basically would tell them all this crazy shit when they started tripping, like 45 minutes in, and then they'd be like, "Go hop in that plane and fly it," And like, regardless, they're gonna fucking crash it because they can't even see what they're doing, except for like shapes and colors and shit. Because back then, that stuff was not regulated and was most certainly literally just ripped out the ground.
Dude, World War II, like the Axis were like they were all on fucking meth. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it was all meth. The Hitler Youth was all meth, but it was all like meth and psychedelics.
Well,
whole thing.
the SSS in there, or the SS and their like stormtroopers and everything, were literally like were fueled on methamphetamine.
Yeah, stormtroopers were like completely methed out. They would literally smoke meth before they went into battle, and like I would not want to fight some crazy
meth heads,
trained Nazis,
some ideologically captured German soldiers on drugs. Yes.
Yeah, that's terrible. That sounds like a terrible person to fight.
I guess that's how they overcame the idea of trench warfare. Hey, if we give our guys enough drugs and propaganda, they won't care about the trenches.
Well, Hitler was on snuff and cocaine like crazy, and meth. Like he was on every. He was
yeah, you would have to if you were Hitler. Either way, we're getting off track.
My bad.
Back to Dororo.
Arceus tried to say something too earlier.
I'm sorry, I like history.
I was gonna say two things. One, I did some research for you, Crimson, since you asked about it. So Mio was not a prostitute in the 1969 version of Dororo.
Interesting.
Huh.
Mappa was the mind behind making her a prostitute due to their mature themes and adaptations at the time, reflecting darker interpretations of their animes that they were producing at the time.
Sure. Okay, makes sense then.
That makes sense, yeah.
The other thing,
by the way, Japan held for the first years when they had 100% control of America, and then 7 years later, 1952, is when Japan finally, or America finally pulled out, and now we just have our base in Okinawa or wherever.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to mention was during my watch of this, it actually got me thinking I might try Mao again.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if it was just because of the historical themes or just like the action, but just watching it made me like think about what you and Crimson have been saying about
Jesus Christ, I'm about to fucking retweet Geoff Thu here. Sorry.
About what you guys have been saying
Window.
weekly about it. But I've also heard from a lot of people that they've been actually, kind of, I wouldn't say comparing is the right word, but they've been like referencing, or people have been finding references of like Dororo and Mao's manga. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
I guess that checks out again because of the whole taking inspiration thing. And like, it's very interesting again to go back to the subject of just like you see a lot of these references and everything, and like I try to like think about it like if this were in Western stuff, I would assume that they were doing some sort of like reference or homage to these things in these other series. So like you get the Akira slide and everything, because that became a whole meme. Yeah, so I would imagine that a lot of people in Japan draw inspiration from previous works and everything. They like to do homages and all of that, and it's cool to see these little things that like pop up as a result.
Yeah, dude, I love seeing that. Like when I watch shit, I'm like, oh, I know that.
Yeah,
like, that's
I got that reference.
Yeah.
Right.
And just as like a little bit of a, I guess, aside for this one, or to like change directions on this, like it was. Why did I forget what I was going to say?
You're changing directions, there, Mr. Biden.
Yeah,
changing directions.
America is some country that can be summed up in one word. You're a lion, dog faced pony soldier. That's what you are. No, I completely forgot where I was gonna go with this.
I guess I'm. I got something for you guys.
Oh, I
What'd you
remember.
get?
I remember
Don't
now
say
where I was
that.
going to go with this. Sorry, Roman, but I got to say this just really quickly, and then we can go over to what you're going to talk about. I
Screw
really
you.
like the creativity in it, and just the idea of like, you have this kid with a bunch of prosthetics fighting demons to try and get his body back. Like that's a really out of the box idea
Yeah,
that I don't think you would see out of. I guess I don't know. Maybe there's something in Western sphere that's kind of similar,
That's
but
so ableist.
this is well, even before that, let's consider all of Western fiction and everything. I don't know if there's anything out there that's like that. Like that
No.
that's a pretty wild idea, and it fits into the period perfectly.
Yeah, and you bring that up, Crimson, and makes me think of or one of the series that comes to mind is JJK. Because when I first heard about JJK, my friend literally described to me, he's like, dude, this man's literally collecting like 20 fingers. And then I hear about Dororo, and I'm like, this man's just collecting his body parts back. I'm like, I wonder if JJK was a little influenced by it as well.
Probably. We talked about that earlier. And I also mentioned Sasori from Naruto.
No, more than that, Itachi. We still have that on the plate, Roman.
Yeah, we still got to talk about the motherfucking Itachi.
Well, why don't we just really quickly get to the point that I wanted to bring up, and then we can go toe to toe, Muffler, because I've been waiting to chomp at the bit all night to hear what you have to say. So, really quickly, what do we all think of the music?
OP1 was better than OP2.
Somebody just cracked a bottle.
That was me.
Crimson.
I was pulling the cork on my bottle of Viking runes.
I absolutely agree with you, Muffler. Opening one is addicting.
Queen
Opening,
Bee. Oh,
yeah,
opening
so one's really good. I actually found myself pleasantly surprised by OP2 over time, because I listened to all of the openings for this show because I had it on while I was doing chores in my room.
Yeah, me too. I literally, well, I'll be honest with you, because I had to watch it so quickly. I listened to each new opening like one time.
Sure.
And then I played it on 2x speed and was listening to it. And then like as I was doing shit, and whenever they would get to like a fight or something, I'd turn it back to 1x speed and then watch it that way. So I took 9 hours and made it like 6-ish.
Yeah, no, it's sick. Okay, Muffler, you want to fight? Let's talk about, Itachi. Come on,
what's there to fight about?
Put up your dukes, asshole.
He's a piece of shit dirtbag in Dororo, and Kishimoto is just trying to redeem him. That's all it is. All right. Like, I don't know how Itachi is in the original. Okay. All right. But in this one, he's a dirtbag piece of shit. And I'm assuming he's the same in the original. But both of them betray their respective groups and organizations and stuff. All right. And then one is just a dick bag through and through that came first, and then Kishimoto's like, "Oh, I gotta make him a good guy. Oh, he's so emo."
Okay. Please let me just educate the panel right now here, okay?
I thought you were gonna say edge the panel, and I was about to leave.
I mean, he does that already, man. It's all good.
I mean, I could edge to it, no, but okay. Itachi, right? So here is the thing. This will be quick. So Itachi was kind of forced into what he had to do. He was not a, dickbag. He was tending to be evil to gather, intel on the Akatsuki and all of that stuff. He was basically being sent to the Akatsuki by the Leaf Village in order to be a spy for the Leaf and such. And
I'll be right back.
It's a very, very, very
got something weird going on in the backyard that I gotta go double check. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
Rack one in the chamber for the meth guys out there, buddy. All right, fentanyl zombies. Moving on.
But yeah, no, I mean, so you said that you've seen the pain arc of Naruto.
Yeah, I've watched all of Naruto except for the filler.
And Boruto.
Okay,
Yeah, and
Hey.
I did try to watch Boruto, but I couldn't even do that in my sleep. Like I couldn't even put it on its background.
So then you kind of understand where like Itachi's character arc is then, right?
Yeah, of course I
Like
do.
uh, so you're not saying that he's evil then. You're just messing with me.
He's rage baiting.
No, I'm not. I'm saying Kishimoto, fuck him, because
True.
specifically he's trying to redeem Itachi. All right, and I'm using the original Dororo Itachi. I'm assuming that the original '60s version is the exact same, being a betraying piece of shit that like ultimately tries to just lust after power, save his own skin and stuff. All right, like a general dirtbag. Okay, who ends
Sure,
up
yes.
getting the correct fate. All right. It's like, well, you know what? Maybe there was like a reason for him to do the betrayal and like play the Batman role or something, right? And so, get the whole Dark Knight type vibe, right? So maybe
Yeah, I
Kishimoto
see
was
what you
like,
mean.
yeah, I'm going to just rewrite him and, like do something. So I was just bitching about Kishimoto. That's all it was.
Oh yeah, no, fair. Yeah, I mean, I will say, I think, I mean, I see your point.
I was
Kishimoto
just making a
was,
joke.
yeah, no, I mean, Kishimoto though, I mean, it, dude, we can talk about how shit he just is, like, in general. That's fine. But no, you have me going with like, Itachi, and I was ready to go to war, bro. Sorry. So yeah.
No, you're good, dude. I mean, he's just out there trying to get that treasure. He's looking for the One Piece, man. It's all good.
He's my second favorite anime character ever. So I mean, it's, it's like
He's trying
him
to
and
he's trying to
Okura.
find the One Piece in the Soul Society. Become the Black Clover.
Okay, per AI, Itachi is the subordinate bandit who betrays the leader, Hibukuro, Dororo's father, and sided with the samurai authorities, ultimately crippling Hibukuro and forcing his family into exile. So yeah, so if that's the case, Kishimoto's just being a little bitch, but that's all.
Yeah, Kishimoto probably was like, I'm gonna write this better.
Probably
Oh,
not. I don't think so. It might just be the fact that they have the same name. Like, how common is Itachi as a name?
well, I know. I'm just making a joke, but yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're right. I'm Japanese names are pretty common overall. I would say like there's not too many variants. I don't mean to be
Yeah,
like
fair enough.
especially family
Yeah,
names.
there are only like 5 Japanese names. That
Okay,
includes
that's not.
both genders, you know.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
dude.
Sakura could totally be a dude's name. He
It
bleeds
Yeah,
like a
is.
little bitch.
It is actually for Windbreaker.
Oh no. Uh,
there's an
okay.
there's also an Asuka in Evangelion, and then there is an Asuka in there is an Asuka in Azumanga Daioh, which you guys will be watching next year if Crimson lets me pick that show. So
We'll see how things go, because there are going to be some interesting things that happen with that. So,
My bad.
did you just nut muffler?
So looking here too, apparently the 69 anime adaptation omits the character entirely. But like apparently the original manga, Itachi is not a main antagonist of the arc. The betrayal is executed by a samurai official who ambushes him. So I don't know. Maybe I was pissing up a rope. I was just trying to make a joke though. We're good. No more sidelining from me.
That's all right, brother.
that's okay. That's fine. Uh,
What else do we got?
there is a male character named Sakura in Bludgeoning Ankle Daruku-chan. Angel. My drunk ass fucked that up.
He's not wrong. I've seen that show.
Sharp
No,
Animal Boy.
I like the main character for Windbreaker is Sakura.
Yeah, that's a gay.
Yeah. Did you not watch that one off the tape?
No.
Oh.
No, I stopped with that genre okay, because I watched Tokyo Revengers and was like, nah, I'm good.
Based. Fuck Tokyo Revengers.
Yeah.
Fuck that show in the ass. Anyway. So yeah, as far as Dororo goes, like I don't really necessarily see this as like a super complicated or like deep series. It does have its themes. It does explore a little bit of like philosophy. But a lot of that is pretty easy to pick up on and is pretty easy to understand. Um, the characters I don't see as being too terribly complicated or anything. Their arcs are pretty simple overall, but they work very well, and you do have some pretty emotionally compelling moments, and some just genuinely good stuff. I was pretty invested, like I said, after episode 6, and I was like looking forward to everything that was going on. I was hoping that there would be some form of like, I don't know, happy ending to this whole tale because I too like happy endings, much the same way that Roman does.
Have you guys talked about Daigo yet?
Are
little
we
bit.
talking about the dad, Kagemitsu Daigo?
Yeah, the antagonist of the story.
Yes.
A little bit,
We
not
talked
much.
a little bit about him, but if you have thoughts of your own, go ahead and share them.
I mean, he's a terrible person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Faustian bargain, shithead dad, trolley
Yeah.
problem, utilitarian
Well,
morality,
It's a
Good
very
vibe.
similar like mindset to what you get out of Griffith, to where he's
Yes.
literally consumed by ambition and will do whatever it takes to fulfill that ambition. In the case of Kagemitsu Daigo, he's willing to sacrifice his own firstborn son in order to make his land prosperous. Meanwhile, if he had just ignored that, his son would have been the one to bring about prosperity in that land, is kind of what it implies.
Exactly. It's the whole betrayal thing. And like, as you bring up Griffith, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so absolutely right about that. Oh my gosh, it's just the parallels of Berserk, dude, to this is insane.
Yeah, and it's a whole thing about avarice and all that, but also like the idea that like this is a Kung Fu Panda quote: "We often meet our fate on the road we take to avoid it." It's something I always sort of like sit there and think about. Like you're literally like you caused your own problems by trying to deal with the devil, and like none of this would have happened if you had just shown a little bit of contentment.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the whole just to add on to that, because you're absolutely right. It's the whole hypocrisy of him and the selfishness, as you mentioned, with like making a deal because of how greedy and like lustful he is and everything.
Yeah.
For like wealth and all that stuff,
But I did it for all of my people, though. That totally justifies, all of the.
I know,
actions,
right?
Obviously,
I know. It's the whole like, yeah, man. I mean, I think like the innocent civilians, warm orphans. Like, I mean, that's the whole reason why I thought Mio was awesome. The whole like, she's doing this to help the fucking children, regardless of like the situation she's in. I didn't technically feel bad. Like, I felt bad for her, even though she was in that situation.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest victim in all of this actually ends up being the mother, because she's the one who's just sort of like sitting there caught between all of these different roles she's supposed to play.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Desperate to try and like find a way to like pull her family back together and all that. And in the end, she's just sort of like, I can't save you. There's nothing I can do.
So when you look at it from the top end too, okay, like so she's swayed by her husband, right? But she's so committed to her faith that it actually allowed her boy to live. So like that was like one of those things. And then she did love both of her children too, regardless. But like it's just very interesting the way her character. I wanted to talk about her a little bit with Tomaru, but yeah, like good call.
It kind of reminded me of the dynamic between like, I don't know, it's hard,
Like,
weird comparison, but like if she was a nice version of Cersei.
Oh, and I
What?
remember you guys mentioning this earlier, but dude, fucking Rapidash, dude. Hell yeah.
But no,
the rage.
What I mean by
Ponyta
that
sitting there.
is, what I mean by that is like her quality is that she loves her children no matter what they are.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of what I was getting at there when I said that.
The dad wanted her to have the A word, and she didn't want it, but she clung to her faith, and her child stayed alive. It's all good. What? Moving on.
My mind went to a different A word.
Never mind.
You know what? There's too much alcohol in my system to figure it out, so I'll just pretend you mean ass and move on.
No. She wanted to have anal. And it was
What?
against her religion.
What the fuck?
He wanted her to
That's not
have
what I
anal.
meant at all.
He wanted her to have the A word.
Holy
It was against
shit.
the religion.
I'm clipping
I
that, bro.
wasn't
I'm putting
thinking
that as the
about
soundboard.
I wasn't thinking about like deleting the ghetto. Like I wasn't thinking about that because it's freaking feudal Japan. Like
Yeah,
I was like, what are you talking about? I don't remember that.
Wow. All right.
It's also interesting that in the original, from what I hear, he the dad Daigo is actually the one who is like sending the boy down the river.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
From what I remember of reading the premise.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
the old
see,
lady.
Vagabundo's a degenerate like me. I was also thinking ass.
Yeah, all three of us. All three of us. God damn it.
He's right there gooning alongside me.
Vagabundo, wait, she didn't do anal? Yeah, I get it. Fuck that bitch.
Feudal Japanese tips on how to do anal.
Wow.
Just the way you said it, she wouldn't do the big A word with him. And I was thinking, like,
He wanted her to have the A word. I'm just like,
what you said?
what?
I was like, have anal sex? Like, what are you talking about?
Oh God. All right.
Anyway.
Well, dude, I was just trying to make it like
We're professional.
family friendly. My bad. All right.
Dude, I don't care. We've already talked about fucking Hitler on here. You can say
fair enough.
assassination.
No, I was going to say abortion, but okay, moving on.
That too. You know what? That too.
Can I say the F slur?
You know what? I'm gonna draw the line there for now.
Yeah.
No.
All right, I'll wait 2 minutes.
Wait 2 minutes. Okay. I was going to say.
What the fuck? What the actual fuck, Vagabundo?
I'm kind of curious now.
Isn't that a fetish? Is that why?
We don't talk about that. There was a
Roland,
period of time where I couldn't open up an incognito tab without like the first video or two being that shit for whatever reason.
Why?
I don't know. I wasn't into it. I never was. But I would open up the hub, and like one of the first videos would always be that.
Liar!
You're lying.
I'm
You're
not
lying.
I was thinking more of the
I am
boogie
not
line.
into that shit.
You're lying, Crimson.
You
The
just really
algorithm
want
never
me to be
lies.
into it because you're into it and you want someone else that you can relate to.
I'm not used to this level of scrutiny.
Listen, bro.
All right.
It's okay. You're with friends here. It's fine.
Fuck you.
You wish.
Fuck you.
You wish.
All right.
Fuck
He
you.
most certainly does not wish. I guarantee you that, buddy.
My bad. So I've got a final topic, I guess, then, unless, RC says something. You just muted yourself, man. Did you have something too, bud?
Did we give our ratings?
No, we
We'll
have
save
not
that
done
till the
yet.
end, dude. We'll save
That's
that till
what
the
I
end.
thought.
Yeah,
I'm already thinking
because
about
I'm thinking about best girl, unless he has something.
Oh, wait. Which I'm sorry, my brain just blanked. Which girl?
No, I'm
Your
just saying,
brain's always
like,
blanking, bro.
which is the best girl? Like, because, like, I don't think it's Mio. Mio is really good. I love her a lot, but I actually like the blacksmith daughter.
I was
Okawa.
thinking the same thing. I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, okay, so do we know
Okawa is
the answer?
actually best girl.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we know the answer then.
But
The poor girl
master
tormented
coordinator?
by the Amanajaku not being able to get married because everyone is forced to say the opposite of what they think.
Are you
Yep.
talking about Okawa?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's probably number one, and then I would say Mio's too.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then 3
Just
would
because
probably,
we don't deal with prostitutes around here.
Yeah.
We don't serve your kind here.
the
What do you
third
mean your kind?
is a toss up.
Droids and prostitutes.
The third is a toss up between the mom or maybe the chick that was like the soldier that was, or the guard that was helping the brother out, Tohamaru.
I would say MILF trumps the indoctrinated chick. Just
Sure,
saying.
sure,
I
sure.
kind of dig the indoctrinated chick though, because I thought it was cool that there was a character on his team that had like a bow. That was cool.
Valid. But yeah,
I
no,
like,
that's
I
the
like,
last thing
I like
would
bow
talk
and arrow
about.
characters, man. I'm sorry, it's like one of my favorite weapons.
What
By
do
the
you
way,
do?
Crimson, be careful
Yeah,
for saying
what
that.
the fuck, Vagabundo? What?
He's like, yeah, man, I asked her to get her head near my ass, and then I crack a big fat one right in
He
front of
said,
her, man.
"Hell yeah, bro!"
I'm serving that shit up hot and spicy.
I'm just saying, this coming from a black man sounds really fucking slave coded.
I'm
What
not
the
gonna.
fuck? Holy shit!
I'm not gonna lie. You know what? I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, you are.
Say it, you bitch ass motherfucker.
Yo,
What? I have a little brother.
you're too drunk to be saying you bitch ass. I don't trust what's coming after that.
Say it, Roman.
mean-
Say it.
Listen, bro. Do you know what I would give to smell the fart of a goth girl?
What the fuck?
I knew it was going to be something clippable, and I do not regret pressuring him to say that.
2 hours, 16 minutes in, noted.
Yes.
That's
Yo,
gonna
he
be a
doesn't just
soundboard.
do this on live streams either. He does this on the phone when we're talking business. Like, I'm not even fucking kidding, bro.
But yeah, Gribbs, be careful who you say is best girl because the Twitter people will come after you like the My Senpai is annoying crowd.
Yeah, be careful.
Dude, don't even get me started on that. I just retweeted fucking Mother's Basement because I agreed with him.
For once.
That's insane.
Vagabundo. That's my boy.
Roman and Vagabundo get their own fucking goon cage together.
You know what, bro?
Yeah,
Let's start a
I'm about to
podcast,
just
bro.
make them their own little fart chat in the Discord.
Don't, do not, no.
I'm making it right now.
I would
Stop.
never.
I'm making it right
I
now.
would never.
I'm making it right now. I'm making it right
Anyway,
now.
You made me give that post a like, by the way, because that is a good take. Anyway,
it's
moving
a
on.
genuinely a good take. Anyway,
Hey,
Muffler take.
Wait,
You said you
Marcel, what does that have to do with
or was
anything?
the best girl the final topic you were talking about?
Oh, that was the only last thing I wanted to say. I mean, like the little brother, I thought that he was an interesting character. Like, because I was wanting to say that, like, I like that he was duty bound and like heavily influenced by his father, but like he perceived a lack of love from his mother, and that sort of fueled him in his direction too. But I like that he eventually
the implication there that like like what are you missing at the end where there's like that hole in him.
Yes,
because of that, like, yeah, that kind of stuff was actually really good.
I also really enjoyed the fact that the father at the end, which I'm forgetting his name at the moment, but I also really appreciate the fact that the father, like, beaten and battered, had to fucking get home. And everything's fucked, and he's just like, yeah, it's what you get. What'd you expect?
He held off the invasion. He won the war.
Oh, I know.
But at the very end, like, I know, I get what you're saying. I'm just sort of emphasizing what's going on here.
I know this may be a dumb question to ask, but I wanted to ask everyone since I was thinking about this when watching it, and it may be a dumb question, but why do you guys think they named it Dororo instead of our boy?
Well,
because she's the main character.
Even though
she's a catalyst for a lot of things, that's why.
Yeah, it might
like
have
Akame
to do
got
with the
killed.
fact-
Yeah, Akame got killed. Like, it's exactly how I felt about it. Yeah.
No, I would say it's probably because in the original work, Dororo took more center stage than Hyakimaru.
Probably that too.
I just was
Also-
curious
Yeah,
because I know that it's his journey. So I know that Dororo is like the heart and centerpiece of the story, and you could even maybe argue it's like the narrator at some points.
He's on his journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's
I
a
mean,
trans allegory.
I'm
I mean,
curious.
it could be a Dura antagonist. It could be both.
Yeah, well, I mean, I
Like
feel like it's
Dandadan.
kind of. I think it is very similar to Samurai Champloo in that way.
Yeah, okay. So there's no real meaning behind the idea of Dororo, other than it is derived from the Japanese word Dorobo, which means thief.
Yes, so that was the nickname. Which actually, that is a double entendre. That's a really good name.
Yeah,
because
that's
they
actually
stole
really good.
I guess that
his
actually
part,
kind
so
of
yeah.
fits the idea of what's going on with the story.
Well, yeah, because her father was literally Robin Hood, but like Japanese.
And his dad,
Well, more so the idea
stole
of you
his
can play
body.
this in two ways. Kagemitsu Daigo stole Hyakimaru's body, or
Mhm.
you could view it as Hyakimaru stealing back all the parts of him that were taken.
And
Yes.
also the character of Dororo on her own. Doesn't she start as like a little vagrant and then become?
She
She's a
kind of
thief.
is a thief, yes.
Yeah. And her father was a thief. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Well, he was a mountain bandit, which is a little bit different, but
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. It's like it's the concept.
he's basically more like a raider than a thief.
Yes, I actually really did enjoy that character and the mom as well. I thought they were cool.
Mm-hmm. Again,
Yeah, a
another
little
set
bit
of
of One Piece
self-sacrificing parents who actually cared for their child. I
Yeah.
like that.
They gave me a little bit of One Piece vibes, and also like of just characters within One Piece, not necessarily like specific characters, but also like a little bit of vibes of like Minato and Kushina.
Yeah, kind of.
Just a little. Nothing crazy.
Also,
You
Marcel,
chose
it's
to type
okay,
and
man.
send that, my friend. I am not responsible.
My
Hey.
bad, Marcel. Just that one take, okay? Like there was like one or two takes that I've ever liked of his. We're good, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah,
about
no, I literally remarked earlier, holy shit, I'm about to retweet Jeff to you.
Yeah.
The fucking
Vagabundo.
GL.
Vagabundo is fucking odd one, bro.
Yeah. No,
Also-
no, Vagabundo is great.
To comment
I
on
love
what
it.
Arceus said. So I mean, here's the thing, Arceus. I think that the name of Doro is just. I think it's also probably because it's easier to market too. I mean, it's kind of
Catchy.
because
Well, it came before, I guess, a little bit before the era of the 40-word isekai titles
Yes.
that we would eventually
I
get.
was gonna say, dude, yeah.
And well, technically, the original work came back when titles were actually somewhat of an art versus a marketing ploy.
My life as a
Sure.
teenage mutant ninja robot Jedi Skywalker Obi-Wan Kenobi master.
My bad, Roman. Continue.
I was just gonna say, I mean, I think because it's just, I mean, yeah, the name is easier to say. I mean, if me, who I can barely get 2 words out most of the time, if it's easy for me to say it, then it's probably easy for people to, it just rolls off the tongue, and like also it's a simple name, and I mean, it's a simple enough story to understand, so I can kind of see I can kind of see Arceus where you may be coming from, but I think that they made the right choice calling it I think that Dororo was actually the correct name for it, because if they had called it anything else, it just wouldn't have fit. It was
I would agree. It's just like for me, there's a lot of like, not me, like this doesn't feel this way to me, like personally, but I see so many people that it's like, oh, if I were to say you got to watch Dororo, they'd be looking at Dororo, Dandadan, Doro Hidoro, the Dookie, the Daki, Boogie Baki, Boogie Baki, like like they're not.
Dororo, Dandadan, Doro Hadoro, Danganronpa.
Yeah, it's like
Dorarara.
that's
Jesus.
my main. The only gripe I have with the show, and actually, it's not even with this show. It's actually, I guess, just with anime. can we try to just not make everything have the same word, at least in the title, at some point?
Well,
Like,
here's the thing: is they are different. They are like noticeably
I
different.
know, but it's confusing.
And there's a Japanese creator who brings up a ton that the Japanese words changed because there was they was lazy to use certain sounds. Either way, I think as far as Dororo goes, the reason the title is the way it is one, you have to consider the fact how old is this series.
Well, that's what I'm
This-
talking about. It's my
This
problem's not
came
with
out
that.
in the 60s when titles were short, like
Yes.
Astro Boy, Dragon Ball.
Yep.
Well, not technically Dragon Ball, but for a long time you had like stuff like Mobile Suit Gundam. Titles were simple; they conveyed what they were. As time went on, ultimately as series began to compete for attention, titles would get longer and longer and more simplistic. Like you would eventually get to series like Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. Please put them on, Miss Takamine.
What's that
Or
one?
ReZero, starting life from zero in another world.
Or backstabbed in a backwater dungeon.
Yes.
The longest title of all, yes.
I'm reincarnated as a slime.
Eventually we got to a point where titles became the synopsis themselves.
Dear
The whole
God.
point of the title was to sell people. Rather than the synopsis being what describes the series, it became the title's job to describe the series because there were so many different things competing with each other. You needed to grab people's attention by telling them what it was in as short a period of time as possible.
I think Nogatan is like perfect for that. My dear friend Nogatan. There you go.
Well, that was basically just an advertisement for the entire fucking prefecture.
Well, that's what I mean, but half of these things are that, whereas like with Bleach, most people don't even realize why the fuck it's called that for a long time. People don't realize why it's called Attack
Well, see,
on Titan.
Bleach is in and of itself clever. Like that's a simple title that plays into everything that happens there. And I still make jokes about how you can convince people to watch Clorox on screen.
Oh yeah.
I actually recently rewatched that video of all of us doing the Pictionary anime stuff.
Oh my god, that was good.
Oh god.
Yes. That was
that's
fun.
awesome, man.
That was we should do that again.
You weren't a part of it, motherfucker, but you should join us next time.
I know I wasn't a part of that one, but we should do that again.
Either way, my point being, like, there are a lot of, I guess, cultural quirks as to why titles end up the way they are. I will not claim to understand everything of it, but I think when you're talking about this series in particular, it's pretty easy to understand that Dororo is pretty much a core character. And she's the one kind of acting as an observer to all of this. In a lot of series, not just in Japanese, but like in English and everything, you'll get series titled after characters. Hell, one of the great American novels is literally called Moby Dick, after the name of a whale.
Jack Reacher.
Yes. Jack Ryan. John Wick.
Yes.
James Bond.
It conveys the idea of what's going on there to you. It's the story of someone by that name.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like there's like that happy medium where like I'm gonna use like Star Wars as an example real quick. Like each of the original like George Lucas titles each have an actual scene in the movie. So, like, The New Hope being Luke, The Empire Strikes Back being Hoth, Return of the Jedi being Anakin turning back to the light side, or Phantom Menace being Palpatine in the beginning, and then you have Attack of the Clones is Battle Geonosis, Revenge of the Sith is Order 66, and Anakin's Fall to the Dark Side. Like, that's like a really good, in my opinion, I feel like a really good way to name a story is have its own moment with the name, but also like it's kind of vague just a little, but it's like when it happens in the book or in the show or the manga or whatever, the game, you go, I get it.
Yeah. Or like you can literally, like, we can literally look at the big three and see like how this naming scheme works out. Like One Piece, you literally start to understand why it's called One Piece once you get into it. Naruto is even simpler.
And I'd say Bleach is the most complicated when it comes to that because you have to wait.
Yeah, but that brings me into what I was thinking about when we've been talking about these naming titles. Is Shonen Jump one of the few magazine serializations that actually does not have that problem with describing your your series title? Or am I wrong? Because I mean, think about it, right? We got
I think
Sakamoto Days. We got
you're a
Witch
little
Watch.
bit off the mark here in that a
Yeah.
lot of these longer
Agreed.
titles are actually light novels that originate as web novels on
Gotcha.
sites like Naro and stuff like that. So like the reason why Mushoku Tensei and ReZero and a lot of the isekais have long titles is because they're web novels being published for free on sites that are similar to stuff that we have in the West here, like Royal Road.
Exactly.
Yeah. I see, because I think like Java's reincarnations, like I will get serious when I enter this new world or something.
Something similar to that, but yeah, I mean, it does kind of reflect the core idea of Mushoku Tensei, in that like the whole premise is like even a scumbag like Rudius, who takes life seriously, can do far better than he did in his previous life.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it comes to the realization, like I get not realization, culmination, I guess, of like, all right, look at what my point was is there is a nuance to titling a story, and Crimson understands this because he's a writer, I'm a writer, and like it's there has to be a little bit of nuance there. And I believe
You want something that's enthralling, but also gives people a good idea of what they're getting into.
Exactly. So
Why
like
Doctor Who is such a good title.
right, so it's like if you know what the Sith are and you know that the Jedi have been doing great, then when Revenge of the Sith comes out, you don't even need to fucking question it. You're just like, yes, I want to go see what the revenge is of the bad guys. And like same thing with Empire. And what I would argue is that now we're getting Star Wars titles that are just The Mandalorian and Grogu. And that is very similar to what they're doing with anime, where it's I woke up in a car in another world.
Wouldn't be a bad title if the characters were actually likable.
Yeah,
Correct.
or if like Star Wars was in a better but still like that's just not the vibe. But what I'm saying is it like you want your title to convey a little bit of mystery, but also have like a meaning.
Mm-hmm. But again, titles like John Wick work because, or like James Bond.
It's a different story.
They literally they tell you these are stories about a character by that name,
right?
And by reputation of the character, they work. With Dororo, again, going back to the whole titling thing, it works because it's a story about this, I guess, little bandit girl who comes across this vagrant swordsman who is hunting down demons to get his body back.
Well, what's interesting is that Akame Got Kill works so well is because Akame is not the main character for most of the show.
Yeah,
and
it's just Akame Kills. That's the name of that series. Yeah.
Yes, and like she do kill at the end, but like
isn't Akame Got Kill a manga first though? Doesn't the manga have a different ending than the anime?
Yes,
the manga just has an extra ending, and I think they animated it.
No, it doesn't.
Oh no, they did. Ending. No, they did the. I'm sorry, they did an OVA for it after the show or something.
No, you're wrong. It has an anime original ending.
No, I mean there's one where like the characters that aren't alive are in heaven hanging out.
No. I would bet money that you are wrong.
But that's what I was told.
Okay. I'm just betting money that you're wrong. I mean that respectfully, because like I
that's okay. I could totally be wrong. I haven't watched it. I was just told that that's a thing.
I don't have much to add beyond that. I'm sorry. Like I'm just like there's an ONA talking about like what is this? Yeah, that's not it.
I mean, my friend could be 1,000% incorrect. Whoever the fuck told me that, like when I watched it in like high school.
Yeah, you're cool.
But I was told there was an ending, but I never watched like an actual different ending. I never watched it.
Yeah, it would just be reading the manga because the manga is different.
Well, yeah, I gotta get back and do that at some point. Well,
no shit. Sorry, guys. It looks like we actually have an update from Weebs and Waifus.
no shit.
Oh, really? They actually said something for once.
Let's see.
So let's talk as he's at his drum set. I have no idea. Anyway.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know that's where I'm at. I'm like, drum set?
I was
What?
about to say, if Ivan's going to talk about anime at this point, like he's probably going to say something either like completely tepid as a take, or he's just going to fucking suck Isayama's dick again.
He does like the Attack on Titan quite a bit. But no, move
Anyway,
on.
How does Lethal feel? Never mind. I gotta ask him myself.
I'm probably gonna try and like get him to join in on the Halo fictionology that will happen later this year.
Oh, for
he's
sure.
He's a Halo fan.
I know he is. I've talked to him about
I'm pretty sure he likes Borderlands too, so I'll see if he wants to get on with both the gaming fictionologies to give his opinion on some of that stuff.
I mean, I'll definitely hop onto the Borderlands one too, because I played that game a lot.
If you've played at least 1, 2, and prequel, you're invited. That's basically
I've
all.
Played them all. I've played all 3 of them multiple times, and then I played Borderlands 3 and 4, whatever.
Either way, no. Does anyone else have anything to say specifically about Dororo? Do you have any thoughts that you want to throw out there? Literally anything random that you just want to say now.
Yeah, favorite demon. What is it? Which one? What was your favorite one?
I love the spider demon. She's my favorite.
The moth one was pretty cool to me because of the obvious ties to.
I'd probably also
the sword demon. Actually, that would be mine.
I'd probably also agree with Muffler and say the moth one.
When you say the sword demon, you mean the one from like episode 1 where that's like a half samurai, half like ant?
No, I'm talking about the one where it's a possessed sword.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, that was a cool episode.
That was cool. Fuck. I think my favorite.
The Buddha statue too is pretty cool.
Yeah, the Buddha statue was the statue demon was probably my
by
favorite.
the way, that possessed sword is another thing where you can sort of see some inspiration across culture, because that also shows up in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Well, I mean, every single sword in Bleach is possessed, technically. So,
you know what, Groves? I actually did figure out something I did want to say before we ended it off. I brought up before when I first was talking about it, Demon Slayer, when comparing it to this. And, a lot of people talk about Demon Slayer because of the high stakes action and the animation and all that jazz, but I think the difference when it comes to Demon Slayer and Dororo is that Demon Slayer just felt like a lot of action and animation with a bit of storytelling, but even though there was a lot of action in Dororo, it didn't feel like boring or forced, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me.
it makes sense to me. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I like the story in the manga quite a bit from the pacing perspective related to Demon Slayer, and I feel that the movies and the anime drags out the fights a little bit. Like it emphasizes the action to the point that the plot gets lost, and you don't get that in Dororo.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing I would say is I feel like as far as series go, we need more of these sort of like one season and done kind of stories. These short stories are actually really like very like important because
concise and to the point.
A lot of anime, as has been pointed out by multiple people that I've talked to, acts as sort of like an advertisement. But some of these shorter series actually deserve to just be done to completion, because a short story can actually still be really good. Like I still have a video yet I have to make about Vivi Floor at Ice Song. And that's a really good short anime. 12 episodes, straight to the point. Awesome. Same with Dororo. It's 24 episodes, straight to the point, really good. It gives you everything that you would possibly need out of a story within that period of time. And you don't have to worry about it ever not being complete because it is one season and done. And more anime should focus, or more stories should focus on that. And that's the advantage to originals. But now studios seem to like be taking a little bit more of the Western idea behind adapting like properties and stuff, and like just trying to go for things that already exist that have an onboard fandom and using those rather than going for originals, which is why you don't see necessarily a lot of stuff like Licorice Recoil, which I would argue is actually very good.
Yeah.
Hell, maybe I make that. Maybe I actually end up making that a Fictionology next year because that's short.
Yeah. Yes, Barcel, I did call it boring. I'm not a big Demon Slayer fan really at all. I think I enjoyed Demon Slayer up to Entertainment District, and I just kind of clocked out. I just didn't care after. And the only good thing I could really say about it is it's got great art and animation and fight scenes. I'm just not a big fan of the characters or even the story of that.
I would actually say I would actually kind of agree with you in a sense that like Swordsmith Village and Hashira Training were not that good.
Yeah, I'm not going to finish the manga. I don't care about the anime. I have a lot of IRL normie anime fans that that fucking love Demon Slayer. And just like how they've spoiled me on other series, I do not care how it ends. I'm not a Demon Slayer fan. I do not care.
But you like Garzy's win.
He doesn't like Garzy's wing. He was trolling us with that one.
Yes, I was.
Damn it! I've been trying to talk on mute. Motherfucker, you said you're not gonna read the manga.
I don't care about Demon Slayer. I'm one of the minority. That's a big reason why I'm not a fan of Soul Leveling. They are fucking identical to me, dude.
I like the story. So if you don't like the action, which would be surprising to me because of how you find certain things boring, okay? I would say read the manga to actually get the story components because there is a compelling story there. You just have to find it. You know, that's all I'm saying. Like, because there's certain things that haven't been revealed to you yet that I think would be really good to know because like there are good points to it. Like, I'm not going to be like a dick laser, okay, for a Demon Slayer, but like I do think the story is actually underrated in it personally.
I probably know everything about Demon Slayer because of all the people I hung around with in my life. Tanjiro's different form that's going to happen. I don't want to spoil anything, but just like I know a lot of things.
Not that important though.
We'll have to save the Demon Slayer stuff for the end. For now, since we're going to kind of wrap everything up, for the main panelists here who are, regular required members for Fictionology, who have, an invested say in everything, I'd like to collect your opinions on Dororo. And I'll go first. So for me, Muffler Tape, Rolo, this is, what we're going to say. I will say that this actually gets an A from me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gave this an 8 on Mal, but like it's an A cinema score. That's what I mentioned. Like it feels really good. It's a definite recommend to the right people and a must watch. So yeah, I'll give it an A in that regard.
I agree. I would also give it an A. It's not quite an A plus, S tier, or anything like that. I'd argue there's some A minus episodes, but overall probably just a solid A.
If we were doing what I do on my channel where I give like a number, I would give this like an 8.5, but letter grade, I give it like it's a solid A.
Man,
your vote doesn't count on this one, but it's
I was about to say your vote doesn't count because this is your series that you picked.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
And this will be important for the end of the year. So, we'll see how everything goes.
Yeah, so B for Marcel. Yeah, I would give it.
I get it. I respect that. B is still a positive. The way I've been scaling this, the way I've been recording this is like it's A, B, C, D, and F. And A and B are like, positives, A being the highest you can get, B being I liked it, but it could improve, C being completely neutral, and then D and F basically being the antithesis of that, where like D being, I didn't like it, but there were some redeeming qualities to it. And then F being like, this was absolutely horrendous. How dare you make me watch this? The kind of stuff we would talk about.
F.
Yeah,
Batman's
Darcy's
Wing.
Wing, Batman Ninja, that kind of stuff. Either way, so
Okay.
I mean, you're slowly redeeming yourself, but slowly.
I'm trying.
I mean,
Good, dude.
Roman right now has a very interesting set of ratings, to where we gave the first one all B's and the second one all A's, where everyone else has largely been fucking mixed.
Really?
That's funny.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey, don't worry, Roman. I like get 25% of my anime recommendations correct when it comes to everyone here.
Okay, but no one cares about
25%.
Well, I'm going to say right now he's 2 for 2 on good recommendations. We've enjoyed both the ones he's put out so far.
Yeah.
So
the next one from him is which one?
Forest of Piano.
Yeah, Forest of Piano is the one that is questionable right now. But we'll see, because it at least has a decent rating on my anime list. So
I got
guess
a
we'll see how
friend
that
that
goes.
likes that show, but I don't know why. Never talked to them about it.
Knowing.
Either
Listen,
way,
I just want to say really quickly, Arceus, no one cares what you like.
Hey, it's okay, man. I've dealt with that ever since I got into anime.
I care because sometimes he gives me some really good recommendations. Okay.
And then other times he, basically shits on us, so it's all good.
Yeah.
And recommends Garzy's Wing.
Based Vagabundo. Solo leveling is fun, but it is vapid action with the same plot every season.
That's
I literally
what everyone
went-
tells me. People just tell me, they're like, dude, because you're a plot guy, you're gonna like the fights. That's what I'm told. We'll see.
I literally went-
Solo leveling is literally the most Mary Sue anime you could think of.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It's judging by like what they were talking about. So like a lot of my friends have told me, and I've had people at work tell me you gotta watch Solo Leveling, and I'm like, all I hear about is just like the fights. I don't hear about anything with the story.
I literally went back to
the story's pretty simple.
I literally went back to watch my first stream. I was part of Crimson's channel with Biggles. It was back for like winter 2025 season, and I could not believe the fucking hatred I had coming out of my mouth with Solo Leveling. While they were like, "Oh, I get it, but it's good," and I was just like, "Man, like how times have changed." Because I know
I think most people have sort of like cooled down now that the hype has died for it.
Marcel,
Anyway, that's a different thing. So, I'm going to wrap stream up. We can talk backstage about some of this stuff. I don't want to
what
sit
the
here
fuck? Vagabundo, god damn it! I knew that name, and you had to fucking remind me that existed.
Dude, as far like there's a reason I invited him on to the Valentine's Day special, because he knows his degeneracy.
That's on my
Pico.
search history now, and
I'm
shirt
curious.
was the first thing that popped
Yeah,
up.
Roman, totally look that up. I'm sure that nothing bad will
Yes.
happen to you.
Yeah,
God
man, if you
damn
like
it.
Arceus Wing, you'll like Boku no Pico, man.
Anyway, to wrap up the stream, unfortunately, I don't have RCS's channel in my description, and I'm a little bit too inept right now to try and figure out how to, throw that out there. You should go subscribe to him anyway, because he does his own streams and stuff where he talks about his opinions on seasonal anime and everything. He's cool. Also, Rolo and Roman have their own channel that's in the description. You can find their Rolo Romecast, where a lot of the times we'll hang out and just shoot the shit and talk pop culture and stuff like that. So it's a good time where we basically bully Roman and call him gay for like 3 hours at a time.
Yeah, Arceus, you.
See if I can get away with this.
Why the fuck? I think
Mods should be able to post links. Yes.
Yeah,
There we
I should be able to post those. Hold up. Share.
Yeah, it looks like
Either way, definitely, if you aren't subscribed to these guys, go check them out. They do great work, and I appreciate them all being here and being my friend and everything, because I'm a drunk asshole who abuses everyone who's close to me. So the fact that people are actually willing to stick around and put up with my shit is a miracle in and of itself.
Hey,
That
man,
being said,
you dealt with jack of all trades for like 12 weeks, dude.
we're going to wrap it up now. So don't forget that next month's Fictionology is, in fact, going to be Psychopaths. We're going to be going over a good chunk of that. I don't know if everything is going to be on the table, but I think we're trying to shoot for 3 seasons for that one. So it's a big watch. We're going to see how it goes. I hope you guys will tune in to, like Friday, the Roller Room guys got their thing going on. Saturday, I got my thing going on. Monday, there will not be any sort of big thing because Biggles is on break. Oh, also Friday, I will be hanging out with Biggles for his birthday stream. That's the thing. So either way, both of those streams are going to be happening on Friday. So you should, maybe check out both of them and all that. And
You'll catch me tomorrow on Biggles' channel as well, since I got an invite if you want to see me there.
I probably won't be as drunk then, but we'll see.
We'll definitely, whenever we finish, if you guys are still alive, we'll send everybody over to Biggles.
He's only going to be alive for an hour or so is what he says.
Oh, well, what time is he going live?
I don't know. Probably sometime after 5 Central, so we'll see.
Oh, okay. So,
it shouldn't interfere too much with you guys. You should be okay.
I'm not worried about interference. I just am worried about being able to send people over if I have to. You know what I mean?
Either way, you should most definitely check these guys out. They do good work. That being said, I hope you guys all have a great weekend. If you don't tune into anything else, if you just completely zone out, hope you guys have a great time. We're going to end stream now. We'll see you next month for Fictionology 21, which is Psychopaths. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate your comments. And I hope you all have